Hey everyone, Brian from 3 Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial. Cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey guys, I keep getting road rage when I'm watching porn.
Oh?
Gross.
Oh, it just makes me so angry when someone pulls out in front of me.
Pulls out.
Semen.
Daddy, and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas as a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've done, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
It is inconsiderate, though.
Right? It's totally rude.
Let you finish first.
Wow.
There's a pattern. There's a rhythm to this stuff. Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of 3 Geeky Dads, the show now brought to you by the new Betty Davis All About Evening Wear. Sexy lingerie for all you horny folk above 60 who still want some of that wild thing that all the kids seem to love. Betty Davis All About Evening Wear. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a humpy ride. I am Mark, and with me
Hey, that kind of ties in with Derek's joke.
You know, that wasn't planned.
No.
That wasn't even planned. I am Mark, and with me, as always, are the Captain Hook and George Michael to my 2 guys you never want to shake hands with.
Derek.
Which is
And Brian.
also, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know where Derek.
Wow.
Derek, man.
See, again, it all comes full circle.
Tonight's
People
episode
talk.
sponsored by Pornhub.
We're gonna have to put the Brazzers logo at the bottom of our...
Generous.
Brought to you by
Sponsor.
the letter C for cum. Cum, it's what's for dinner. Oh, that's...
But first,
I'm glad you didn't say the other C
like
word.
Yoda. But first, we must eat. Come.
I never noticed that.
And now you have.
Wow,
Chalk
somebody-
that up to one of the dirtiest lines in Star Wars.
Somebody butchering
Next to
Star
Into the
Wars
Garbage
even
Chute
more that is not George Lucas.
Next to Into
Thank
the
you,
Garbage
Brian.
Chute Flyboy, and you came in that thing, you're braver than I thought.
I hear all those lines we'll put back into the movie.
Yeah.
As was McClunky. Isn't that a dirty
McClunky.
word, too?
Yeah.
George Lucas, I just want to give one more dirty word in there.
The stormtrooper bumping his head.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
get
all
the paper
know.
towels. This guy just had a McClunky.
And also joining us, as always, to say F you to math and the accuracy of our show title, the man who puts the 4 in, for the love of God. How long are these 4 puns going to go on for?
4.
Tito.
I mean, as long as they take, I guess. As long as it takes
I
for them to
really do. As long as you're
keep
happy,
going.
man.
4 minutes.
How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good week? Did anybody have a good St. Patty's Day, or did it just like
It was
pass
quiet.
by them?
It was quiet.
Yeah, man, it was all
totally
right. I
thought it
had
was a
some
Monday.
corned beef and
I was drunk.
Yeah, did you?
cabbage.
I didn't.
My
I had
family will
Reuben.
my family will do
Reuben.
the big dinner on Sunday this week.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, my mom's
Nice.
doing the corned beef and cabbage and all that goes with
The
it.
boiled dinner?
Yeah, the boiled dinner. Enjoy your boiled meat
What are
there,
you gonna
boyo.
drink? What are you gonna drink?
Guinness.
Something picked
Oh yeah,
up?
no, it'll be
Guinness?
Guinness.
All right.
Yeah,
Something
or something of the whiskey variety.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Mint chocolate chip.
And
Does that count? That's green.
Yeah,
Shamrock shakes.
very Irish.
St. Patrick's Day on a Monday sucks. That
Yeah,
that must
it
be
kinda
one of the
does.
worst things.
Oh,
Well, if
also,
you're an alcoholic, every day St. Patrick's Day.
That's true. Yeah. I guess. I guess.
also, I gotta say, fuck you, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Fuck you, Dunkin' Donuts.
Why?
They did not put Irish cream out this year.
They ran out.
See, if we
No,
had
no,
done,
they just didn't get it. It's
if
fucking
we had
stupid.
done the fast food rant,
That's
they
right.
could've gone.
That's right.
Dunkin' Donuts for
Dunkin' Donuts would have been at the top of my
You
list.
got to
There you
go
go.
in there tonight's movie style and
go in there, guns a-blazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I
I
mean, you're gonna have to kill
I thought they
everybody
served
because they
breakfast
don't
till
have
11.
it.
They don't have it.
They don't have it. You're gonna have to kill
I
everybody.
thought they
kill
served Irish
everyone.
cream until the 18th.
So I went into Dunkin' Donuts and I started blasting.
That's true. So many Bostonians on the floor.
Oh.
It was so fucking
Cut
funny.
your fingernails.
Is today the day? Is today the day you're gonna take a swing at your old man?
That was Sam Adams, though.
Yeah, it was. But
Yeah,
it was
it's
still.
great. It was the liquor
Close enough.
store.
It's Boston.
God, I
It's
love
the guy.
Boston.
Still the
It's all
Boston.
the same.
No.
Sam Adams,
Bill
Bill
Shit,
Burr
it's so
doing the
funny.
Dunkin'
Boston
Donuts.
commercials for Saturday Night Live. Funny stuff.
Oh, they loved it. We'll get to it during Geek Flag, but boy, do they love to shout out during a show. Every show I've been to
Yeah.
in Boston, there's always one. I'm just like, oh, yeah, fucking A!
I was waiting for you to do it.
It's like the drunk lady in Van
From
Morrison.
cute.
Boston. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, no, it's
Doesn't
like the
matter
drunk
what
lady
it
in
is.
Van Morrison shouting out. He was doing a jazz concert, and she's like, "Play Brown Eyed Girl." I'm like,
It would have been nice to
shut
hear,
up.
though, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it doesn't
no,
matter though.
I know, but
You left and you were like, you know what? It
earned
might have
not
been
to
cool
play
if you
that.
played
He
Brown
owes
Eyed
that
Girl.
lady nothing. Sit down and be quiet.
he played a very
He
cool
owes that
version of
lady
Into the
nothing.
Mystic, and that's all I.
That's all you need.
He made my night.
That's
Nice.
right.
He was fantastic.
He owed her Brown Eyed
Be
Girl.
thankful Van Morrison is
He's a
still
fucking
performing.
treasure. He's an Irish treasure,
An Irish
Tito.
treasure.
And Duncan won't have them. Yeah, they don't have Irish cream. They don't even have donuts anymore.
Oh, you know
It's
what I
not
meant
even in the name.
You know what I
It's
meant to
Dunkin'.
mention to you earlier? Speaking of Irish bands and St. Patty's Day, Gaelic Storm is coming to the Park Theater in Cranston sometime soon. Check
Really?
it. Yeah, look it up. Gaelic Storm is the band that was in the movie Titanic.
Right.
They were the steerage band.
Right.
They were an actual band. that-
the
Oh,
ones
where
that
they're
sing
dancing
yeah,
underneath
New York
the
Girls.
bus. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought
That-
they died.
Well, in the movie they
Oh.
did. But
that was based on a true story.
James Cameron hired them
so
to be
confused.
the steerage band, and they're an actual band, and I've seen them
Right.
about a half dozen times.
They have some good songs.
And now they're coming back
I love
to
the Ferryman.
The Ferryman? I don't know if I
the
know that
Ferryman
one.
song.
No,
Yeah.
don't pay the ferryman.
No,
Yeah, that's-
not him.
That's
Well,
it's a
I was
different
told.
ferryman.
I know,
Berg.
but I was told not
It's
to
an
pay
actual
the
ferry.
ferryman.
You know, the guy that
ferryman.
he runs the.
I've been on one.
Don't pay Michael
Have you?
Berryman.
Been on a
Don't
ferry?
pay Michael Berryman. And that
Anyway.
concludes the sports talk of our show.
Oh, no. You know what I got for sports
Oh,
talk? I've been
something
waiting.
happening for sports.
Uh-oh.
That
Okay,
wasn't
all right.
sports talk. Sports talk.
Bruins?
Tracy Morgan threw up all over the court
Yeah,
at the
that's
Knicks
just
game.
gross.
Oh, that's awesome.
Who?
He got
Tracy
food,
Morgan sitting
he got food
courtside.
poisoning.
Really?
Threw
It's
up
a lot.
Threw up a lot.
A lot.
A lot. He threw up so much his nose started bleeding.
Oh my
And
God!
they had to wheel him out in a wheelchair.
Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Oh yeah.
He was saying
Oh, yeah.
courtside. It's wild.
He-
The video's disgusting.
It is.
It really
it's
is
like,
a
it's
lot.
like you're witnessing a possession at a basketball
shit.
game.
You know, as well, he like threw up like a rich guy. He just like was sitting there, just
He
like,
just bent over.
just like, what are you gonna do about it?
Some concession stand guy says it's just a wafer
The
thin.
funniest thing is like it's him. There's another guy, and then there's like two hot white girls sitting next to him, and they're like, ew. Like if you watch the video, they're like disgusted.
Oh, I got to check that
Oh,
out.
it's
dude,
funny.
He
That
ended up in
serves
the
him right.
hospital.
Yeah,
I thought,
yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about the Bruins finally firing.
Oh, the
Don-
coach. Yeah,
yeah.
No, I didn't.
He's out finally.
I thought the Tracy Morgan stuff was
That's much better.
Definitely better. Yeah.
was
much
more
coming.
more better.
Show appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
Show a
Based
more
on our
geek,
based on our
Exactly.
joke.
Yeah.
It follows our idiom.
It
Yeah,
does.
Yeah.
for sure.
It does. He made Cop Out. He deserves it.
He did. He got hit by a Walmart Walmart truck. Give him a break.
That's right.
No, I don't have to give Tracy Morgan a break.
I got
What's
hit
he
by a
done for me?
UPS truck.
He made me laugh.
He got hit by a Walmart truck.
Is in this hot dog? What is in this hot dog
I'm
that
gonna
I
get
just
you
ate?
pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this hot dog pregnant.
Hey, yo, you like this coat? I got like 4 others in like the same 10 different colors.
I'm gonna get your wife pregnant. That's my Tracy
I love
Morgan.
You're making
So
me
do I.
throw up. Hey, speaking of George Michael, we're going to go back a bit.
Oh, here we
because
go.
Hey, speaking of George Michael, not at all. Remember when we talked about Michael Douglas going all romantic and fun and romancing the stone? Well, this time we're going to watch him go postal, primal, and pissed off.
Wow.
In the Joel Schumacher, I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore drama, Falling Down. The movie about a normal man who has one bad day too many and ends up spending his day on the ultimate white business guy rampage, losing more of his sanity with every step, but never losing his tie. It's impressive. But before we grab our baseball bat, briefcase, and breakfast after 11, our own postal preparer of potluck, Brian, has whipped up a yummy appetizer to start us off.
I have a hunch that we'd all be a lot happier discussing this over dinner. What do you say?
You guys like Italian?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
No. Yes.
No.
Yes. I love Italian. And so do you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, Brian.
Continuing.
Banter.
Continuing with our In the March of Madness month, this week we're looking at the 1993 Joel Schumacher directed film Falling Down. On the day of his daughter's birthday, William D. Fenns Foster, played by Michael Douglas, is trying to get to his estranged ex-wife, played by Barbara Hershey, get to her house to see his daughter. He is stuck in traffic, however, and has a breakdown and leaves his car in traffic and decides to walk. Frustrated with the various flaws he sees in society and becoming more and more frustrated, as he tries to get to see his daughter, he begins to psychotically and violently lash out against anyone who gets in his way. Meanwhile, Sergeant Martin Pendergast, played by Robert Duvall, who is working on his last day before retirement, he's too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Following the wave of crimes and believes that the same man is responsible, but the other detectives do not pay attention. His determination leads him to a final confrontation between Defense and the law. This film has us following Michael Douglas's character as he slowly unravels and lashes out at the society that he feels has irreparably changed and betrayed him, all the while he's being pursued by the detectives who are trying to stop him from harming any more citizens. This cat and mouse scenario, where the bad guy has the spotlight, has played out time and time again in many films. And we thought this would be a fun opportunity to take a look at some of our favorite movies where the bad guy is the lead and the good guys are hot on his heels.
Ooh. All right, it's you this week, I think.
Yep, it is, Brian.
It's my turn to go first. All right, I'm going with Psycho.
Oh,
And I'm sorry, Mark, if you picked this.
I did not.
But I am going with Psycho.
I did not.
good.
Where we are at first focused on, I can't think of what's her name.
Janet Leigh.
Janet Lee's
Marion
character.
Crane.
Thank you.
Yeah, Marion.
But it quickly
Marion.
shifts to once we're introduced to Norman Bates, we are introduced to his character and mostly focused on him as well, especially after spoilers for a 60-year-old film. Janet Leigh exits the film in famous fashion. He is followed by Inspector. Is it Pendergast again? Arbogast.
Martin Balsam.
Yeah.
Eddie Pendergast.
Yeah, Arbogast.
Pendergast and Arbogast.
And Janet Leigh's sister.
Vera Mills.
That's right.
Vera Mills. Miles. Vera Miles.
Yeah, as they tried to piece together what's going on, what happened to her, where she could be. They end up at the Bates Hotel, and hilarity ensues.
It does.
Huge.
Two people go earlier than you expect.
Yeah.
Janet Leigh and then Arbogast.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be the
hero.
Oh,
that's true.
Right.
And
the
he
famous
gets
scene
in
on
at
the
the staircase, and nope, Mama Bates ain't
falling
having
down.
none of
Yeah,
this.
Alfred Hitchcock,
that shot.
not very athletic, but he had quite the curveball.
He's awesome.
Waka.
Yeah, bring it back to the sports talk of the show.
That's right.
Yeah,
and
back
very
to-
funny. See, Tracy Morgan.
That was on the spot.
That's
Full
how you
circle,
do
just
funny.
saying.
Did you throw up
Tracy
during the
Morgan.
power?
That's
during
how
the
you-
shower?
That's how you do
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, but you ever see him get somebody pregnant?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty.
Wouldn't it?
He never misses.
I have the video.
He never
at least
You mean
tomorrow.
in person? Does he do that live?
Oh, you're talking about Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying me.
No. Okay.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about that time in traffic that you got cut off or pulled out early.
how about you, Tito? What's yours?
I have one, but I talk about this movie too much, so I'm going to go with my other one.
Why?
Manhunter, which is Michael Mann's version of Red Dragon.
I like that movie.
The original,
Tom Noonan and William Peterson and Cat and Mouse going back and forth. I love the soundtrack. I love the movie. I love Brian Cox as Hannibal Lecter. And you really get to spend a lot of time with Tom Noonan in his everyday life and interacting with a woman that he's in love with, romantically involved with, and I really, really like this movie. So,
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I like Michael Mann too. My other pick was a Michael Mann pick.
Yeah.
What was it? Just
The poor man's
you.
Tony Scott.
Oh, I think I know.
Yeah,
Never
I think
mind.
you know
I
too.
know.
Michael Mann? Do you
Oh,
think he's the poor man's Tony Scott?
I would give that to Michael Bay.
Okay.
I'll say Michael Bay is like the Target brand. He's not the off brand.
Off-brand?
He's the
Yeah.
off brand.
He's the
I
off
love
target.
Michael Mann.
The off target.
Maybe that's why I love Michael Mann so
Mm.
much, because I love Tony Scott so much.
Hold on, I gotta check something for mine. Keep talking about yours and how great it is.
Michael Bay's just all right.
Oh, Michael Bay.
It's fun. It's not too long.
It seems like
It's
Michael
better
Bay,
than the
like
Red
his
Dragon.
smaller movies are better than his big budget
That's his name.
blockbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Like Pain and Gain,
Yeah.
like, was it 13 Hours? You're right,
Oh, I
13
never
Hours?
saw that.
Yeah,
Was the
I
one
just
good?
watched that 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago, man. That was good.
What was the one he did with Russell Crowe?
Michael Bay?
Michael Bay?
No, I thought we were talking about Michael Mann. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
we're back
no,
on
no.
Michael Mann.
Michael Bay sucks. I can't stand him.
All right.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's
All right.
that's my soap.
Did we give you enough time, Mark?
I think so. I'm ready now. I actually just remade this movie. I'm going to pick. That's
All
how much
right,
time
there you
I have.
go. Wow.
Disney, the
Shot
live
it,
action of a
casted
live
it.
action. Yeah. My pick. We're going back to Hitchcock again. Dial M for Murder.
Oh, good one.
Ray Milland, Grace Kelly,
Yeah, we talked
Anthony
about that one last
Dawson,
week, too.
and John Williams, not the composer, but
Nope.
the actor. John Williams is an investigator who's on pursuit of Ray Milland, who hires Anthony Dawson to kill his wife, Grace Kelly. The murder is almost perfect. It does not work.
Nope.
So Ray Milland has to spend the rest of his movie with trying to cover up the lie, hide all the evidence, keep the story straight, and he almost succeeds. But Inspector, I can't remember the name in the movie, but it's John Williams, is hot on the trail. He figures it out, and it's a great movie. I almost went Rope. I talked about Rope, but Jimmy Stewart's not really an inspector. So I try to go law official. And
Who did
this
Rope
is an
last?
awesome-
Did you do Rope last week?
I did
Yeah.
Rope last week.
Yeah.
Also.
That was his
So I
pick,
can-
yeah.
Oh, I would have
Yeah.
liked it if you went.
Well, this is a backup.
week.
Yeah.
Just go
Same
back to
movie.
back with Rope.
I
I did
love
that
it.
one time.
4 ropes.
Four ropes and a funeral.
And funny enough, the remake of that movie starred Michael Douglas.
who we're
Murder.
talking
Yeah,
to.
that's
And
true.
Gwyneth-
Yeah.
A lot of
Gwyneth-
Michael Douglas in the
Gwyneth Paltrow.
show lately. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a great film. It's a lot of fun. Originally filmed in 3D. I love this film. And Ray Milland's probably one of his best performances. He's really just such a suave and charismatic guy. And he really thinks he almost does get away with this murder. It's really scary how close it, you know. I mean, if we won the NFL, then he'd be fine. But there's your sports talk. Okay, Derek.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Firefly family. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and what was the last?
Three from Hell.
Three from Hell.
Devil's Rejects is perfect.
One of the
I can't
best
believe
movies.
I did not think of
it's
this.
such a
That's
great
the second
movie.
one, right?
Yeah.
I like that one a
And
lot.
I mean, and there you are. You're
Yeah.
following the 3 murderers who did such atrocious things in the
Yes.
first one. So like they're not good people, but
No, they're not.
But you're siding with them
You
to
are.
get away from the law. And yeah, such a good flick.
You don't even side with them in the first movie because they're just awful. Like
Right.
by
It's
the
a-
second movie, you're rooting for them because William Forsythe is the
So good as a like.
but he's worse.
You're right.
He's worse than all 3 of them.
Right.
He's more sadistic than
Yep.
any of them.
This is a Jerry Bruckheimer movie.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not
At all. Not even close.
Right.
Threw a
Rob
couple of
Zombie would
dollars.
eat him for breakfast.
He might.
Spit him out.
I mean, he really would eat him for.
the
No, he's a
dress.
vegan.
Turn him into a
He's a
Christmas
vegan.
ornament.
He would not eat him for breakfast. He might hollow him out and make a candle out of him.
What's up with those people? People like Rob
vegans?
Zombie who are vegans. I just don't
A
understand.
lot of horror celebrities are vegan.
I think it's the horror that throws them off. They're like,
it baffles me.
There's a lot of them that are like that. Mick Garris is
What
another
does
one. Huh?
baffled mean?
What does baffled mean? What's it from?
But I figured
Why
it's
don't I know where
Jersey.
from?
What the hell?
But yeah,
I
it's
like
great.
that. That's a great pick. Runners up or honorable anything. Yeah, do you have any?
I'm going to think outside the box on this one. I'm going with The Hunt for Red October. When you think about it,
Yeah, 'cause
I mean,
Sean
you've got
Connery
Sean
is a
Connery.
douche.
He's not a douche.
Well,
he's honorable, but
Right.
you don't know that at the beginning.
Right.
And the entire U.S. Navy, who could be considered the cops, the
Right.
police, are as well as the Russian Navy, which you don't know, are looking to kill him. And the U.S. Navy has fed the line that he's looking to launch. He's gone rogue, and he's looking to launch his nukes from his submarine onto the U.S. East Coast. So everybody's out to stop him. Everybody's looking for his submarine, which is it's a new submarine, newly launched from Russia, and everybody's looking for him, and nobody knows what the truth is except for Alex Baldwin's character, Jack Ryan. The first time we're introduced to Jack Ryan in the films. And he figures out that he's looking to defect.
Right.
That he's doing this all on the anniversary of his wife's death.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I think that this guy's looking to defect. And he tries to convince everybody that this is what's going on. Finally, Scott Glenn's captain of the USS Dallas gets on board, or with Alec Baldwin's plan.
Yeah.
And it's a really tense thriller.
It is. It's a good movie.
And I love it. Everybody is perfect in this movie. Even Tim Curry, who plays the Russian ship's doctor in this movie. Sam Neill, who plays Sean Connery's XO, his second in command on the Red October. Oh, everybody is perfect in this movie.
It is.
Courtney B. Vance as the radar operator.
Courtney B. Vance.
Oh, it's
Love that
awesome.
guy.
Such a great movie.
Yeah.
I watch this movie like at least twice a year.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
It is a good one.
I like the Jack Ryan movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, and this is the one that kicked it off. The
I
Hunt for Red October.
could never get through one of the books.
But no, the book is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I watched the movie first, and then that's what kicked me off onto the Tom Clancy books.
Yeah.
I didn't read a lot of them, but I read Hunt for Red October. I read for The Cardinal of the Kremlin. I read a couple of other ones.
I'm surprised they haven't made that one.
They didn't. No, I know. I agree with you, Derek.
still time.
But it's a great film. As far as like a cat and mouse movie, they don't get much better than this.
Yeah, definitely.
Jerry, if you're listening, make that movie.
Yeah, produced by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
It's a good time to make a movie about the Kremlin being the bad guys.
Yeah.
It's the
Got any
Roman
others?
salute.
I do. I've also got Pain and Gain, which I brought up a little while ago.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. That's The Rock, right?
It's The Rock. It's Mark Wahlberg, and it's Anthony
Mackie's in
Mackie
it too.
as three lunkhead bodybuilders who try to kidnap somebody in a crime that goes wrong. And Ed Harris plays the detective that's on their heels as things spiral hilariously out of control. This is a not Michael Mann. Who we were just
This
talking
is
about.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, thank you. It's a Michael Bay movie, and
Michael Mann.
it's one of his smaller films. It's actually one of his movies that had the lowest budgets of all of his movies, and it is fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of Michael Bay either, Derek, but I love this movie, and it is funny. It's a very dark comedy.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, check it out.
Suppose.
I want you guys to watch it. I've got it on Blu-ray over here. I've been waiting for us to watch it one night, but it just hasn't arisen yet.
Next time, Gadget.
Next time.
My last one.
Bring that shit up.
My last one is also out of the box. Unstoppable.
So good.
It's a
train
cat and
is
mouse
the bad
movie
guy.
against the train.
Yeah.
The actual runaway train is the bad guy. And no, it really is.
So good.
But if you want to, if you really want to, get meta, T.J. Miller is the one that sets it in motion, and Ethan Embry.
It's Ethan.
It's not Embry.
Suplee?
Suplee. Thank
Close
you.
enough.
Yeah.
Willem.
Yeah. So they're the ones that set this runaway train in motion because they're total fuck-ups at the beginning of the movie, which I don't think they were really acting.
Right.
And what's his name? Chris Pine and Denzel. Our friend of the show, Denzel Washington.
I love this movie.
I do too. One of was it Tony Scott's last?
Oh, Tony Scott's last movie.
Yeah, rest in power, Tony Scott.
When did we do this? A couple of years ago.
Oh, it was a Tito month.
You were here for that episode. Yeah.
No, it was a couple of years ago.
It was a couple of years ago. It was
we
the one
watched it the week before, though, because I remember watching it with you guys, rewatching
it. I mean, again, another total cat and mouse. You're going back and forth between the runaway unmanned train. So, like, is the evil train that's bearing down on downtown Philadelphia or wherever it's headed, and Denzel and Chris Pine are trying to stop it in their own train. They're chasing it down.
The cops.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be cops. It's a cat and mouse movie.
Like
I said, I'm thinking outside the box on this one.
All right.
I'm in all the way.
I love Unstoppable. It's another great movie.
I'm not going to say. You want to tell him no? I'm not telling him no.
Yeah, this side of the table's unstoppable.
This dude puts our show together.
This is unstoppable. This side of the table.
All right, I'll edit all of that out. No, I've only got Hunter, October, Pain Again.
Absolutely do not edit any of that.
What are we doing? No, we're not
edit this part. Just edit this part where we're talking about editing.
Edit the part that we're talking about now. Starting now.
Starting before.
No, now.
3, 2, 1. All right, we'll edit out now, and then I'm going back. 3, 2, 1. I got to edit that out. Okay.
Perfect. I only have one. It's Heat.
Oh, okay. That was the other one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's it.
I love, but I think I brought it up for another. I think it was my rope at one point recently.
It could have been.
I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you're reading Heat too, sort of.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so good. I finished it. It's fucking amazing.
Finally.
It's going to be a movie.
19 hours worth of.
It is going to be a movie?
So long. Yeah.
They're going to make it? Oh, cool.
Yeah. Austin Butler is going to be young.
Oh, wow.
Val Kilmer. And
I can see that.
Who played Ben Kenobi?
He's overrated.
Oh,
Ben
Ewan McGregor?
No.
Ben Stein?
No.
I thought you said Ben Franklin.
Han Solo's kid. What the
Ben
Solo. What the fuck is his name? Adam Driver. Adam Driver's playing young.
I like Adam Driver.
I do too.
De Niro. Oh, that's a good casting.
So the book is like
Butler,
1988
not so much, but
and then up to 95.
Cool.
We're supposed to believe Adam Driver is going to grow up to look like Robert De Niro, though?
I can picture that.
It's the closest I can.
All right.
That too.
Chris
and Pacino
Maloney.
might be in it, and they might like do some shit with Pacino.
Oh, don't de-age him. No, that thing is so fucking distracting.
Because that's a tough recast.
Yeah.
What, Pacino?
Yeah.
Get Bill Hader. Bill Hader does the perfect impression of him.
Yeah,
Kilmer does.
like
There's not that many people that can replace Kilmer.
Fucking Titus Welliver does a great Al Pacino impression.
Does he really?
Yeah, whether it's Screaming Al Pacino, Godfather Al Pacino, or Devil's Advocate.
Where did you hear Welliver?
I saw him on a interview. He does impressions for it was some.
I didn't know he did impressions.
He does impressions. He
Titus
does
from Bosch.
Yeah, from Bosch.
Bosch.
He does this Al Pacino impression that blows any of them away.
Wow.
And,
Nice.
I say cast him, but that's me. He could look like Al Pacino one day.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's go. If Adam Driver can look like Robert De Niro.
He lost like 5 feet.
Yeah, well, he can walk on his knees.
Big. He's the size of a can of soda. Al Pacino.
I'm big in spirit.
He can still get people pregnant.
That's
Though.
not
You see
Al
that? He's good. He's still getting people pregnant.
Still again. Him and Robert De Niro.
Shout out Al Pacino.
He's virile.
Everything's still working down there. Good for you.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
Factory's still open. Factory's still open.
He wouldn't puke courtside at a basketball game. I have my runner-up is American Psycho.
Nice.
Willem Dafoe.
That's a good one, too.
William Dafoe. American Psycho. This is an awesome. This almost made the top for me. I love this movie. This is such a good film, and they're back and forth throughout the film. It's very Hitchcockian, actually. The way they're polite to one another, and they sit down, and you can tell they completely want nothing to do with one another, but it's masked behind this this elegant speech, and I don't know.
I don't know if we covered this when we did the movie. I read something recently that was like they would film 3 different versions, where it was like Willem Dafoe if he knew. Willem Dafoe if he didn't know, and Willem Dafoe just wasn't sure.
I don't know.
And then those are the scenes they just spliced them all together.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Which I thought was really
still
cool.
a great movie.
Nice.
I also have The Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Oh, wow.
I have Jackie Brown, even though Jackie Brown's sort of using the cops and she's not really the bad guy. She's in league with the bad guy. And
It's You're Unstoppable. I get it.
yeah, they're using Michael Keaton and can't remember the other guy. The two cops are using Pam Grier. Pam Grier's using them all so they can get to Ordell, Samuel L. Jackson. So I say, what the hell?
What a great name.
And finally, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
How so?
The inspectors throughout the movie.
Because they do.
Once Lancelot goes on a massacre, it's the wedding, right?
No, he kills the historian.
He kills the historian. That's what it is. Yes.
Right.
There's a historian
After
halfway through the movie that like
guys,
As they're like, he's like riding through and he
now
slashes.
after Arthur's humiliation, this is what they did, and then the guy rides through the scene and slices his throat, and
then they keep coming back to these two police getting closer and closer until the very end of the movie when they're arrested or Lancelot is arrested.
Yeah,
so.
they all are. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with that. That's
the movie ends with the cop putting his hand over the camera. That's enough, you.
I like it.
Great way to end the movie.
I like it.
Derek.
So I kind of focused more on bad guys that were the focus of the film as opposed to the cat and mouse thing.
So you're better than us?
Although Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale, American Psycho is one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
But my runner-up for, like the way that I interpreted it, was the Corleones in The Godfather. Brando and Pacino, because they're both mobsters and they do some awful things. But, they're the central characters of the movies.
Well, the cops don't go after them. They're on the payroll.
Well, the feds, but some of the feds are after them, and then you get the rival families.
That's true. All the other bad guys go after him.
My honorable mentions: Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins, mainly in Hannibal; Alex DeLarge, Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange; Jack Torrance in The Shining; Stuntman Mike. Kurt Russell in Death Proof. Star of that movie, but is the bad guy. He's a serial killer.
He's a bad guy.
Nicolas Cage, Yuri Orlov in Lord of War.
I haven't seen that movie in forever. It's very good
movie.
though.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Is that Jared Leto plays his brother in that? Right? Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I had a feeling that you were going to just pick bad. When you said, like, in the text, like, so bad guys, and I'm like, should I say cat and mouse?
Well, you know what happens is I read these things at work.
Cat and mouse.
I missed like half the conversation.
But no mouse.
I'm sorry.
No, you did. Your top one was correct.
So I almost corrected when you said that. I almost said that, and I'm like,
Father Karras and The Exorcist?
But I'm surprised you didn't pick this, and I left it. I didn't say it before because I thought for sure you were going to say this. The Boondock Saints.
I almost did.
Did you really?
Almost
Willem
did.
Dafoe.
You're right.
Speaking of Willem Dafoe,
you're right.
Is he in this movie?
But I think you know what it is.
Symbology.
But the thing is
Symbology behind that.
they kill bad guys. So to me, they're not bad guys.
Oh, okay.
I'm very
they're
much
vigilantes.
But
they're out
it's
there
still
working.
I am a supporter of vigilantes.
And the cops are hunting them down.
Willem Dafoe again as the investigator.
It's Willem, not William.
Even though they think they're doing right, they might not be doing right in the eyes of the law.
Right,
which is how I interpret it.
No, I did,
and I agree with you. Sometimes a little vigilantism goes a long way.
It is very cat and mouse up until they meet each other.
Right.
And
Willem Dafoe turns.
And then they join forces.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that all you got?
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Are you good?
Yeah.
You're sweating. Okay.
Well.
Do you have any room left for the main course?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let me go. Let me go pinch one off, and I'll make room for it.
Wait a minute. Is this
Don't
porn?
edit
Is this
that
another
out.
porn
Edit
thing?
that
I will.
Are you ready? Porn thing?
Ready?
You don't know what pinch one out?
I know what I think it is,
Loaf,
but I don't know what you know.
I know what it is.
Based on your pornography problem. Sorry.
The main.
I can't wait till the day when you guys just fucking pass it out and fall right out of your chair.
You guys are gonna puke. You're gonna puke. Just Tracy Morgan.
I have to admit, I got a little pitchy towards the end. I apologize.
You're gonna pass right the fuck out.
A little raspy.
Put that down. Now Hey! It's my dinner.
How you get so big getting food of this kind?
They were like, uh-oh.
That's a no
I
for
had
me.
the air, though. That's all that matters.
That's a no for me, dog.
That's a no for me, dog. Hell yeah.
Oh, Derek's losing it. I got you.
Why would you
All
guys
these
satirize
7
those
years of you guys
Randy
making
Jackson?
Nothing came out. It's good.
7 years of you guys making shit come out my nose.
Oh, I forgot the nose. I didn't block the nose.
Fuck you. I got
that
you
could have been
back.
bad.
This is our wettest, slimiest episode
Wait a
yet.
minute.
Wow.
This is our gooeyest
Wait,
podcast.
just wait until we get to into the heat of L.A.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, good. I like
a
that.
hot
And,
one.
what do they call that
Sticky out
stuff?
there.
They call it the
smog?
The smog.
The smog and the fog and the mist and the...
All right.
As Batman's arch nemesis, the Joker, once proclaimed, all it takes is one bad day. And though most of us would probably not become a comic book supervillain, there is something to be said about all of us being one step away from just saying, to put it crudely, fuck it. That was what Michael Douglas does as the character in Joel Schumacher's riveting drama Falling Down. The story of a seemingly ordinary working man who just has one bad day too many and then just decides to say, fuck it. And what starts as a walk out of his car in the middle of traffic and a long walk to his home turns into this almost maddening and perverse anti-hero's journey, complete with violence, murder, and a fast food rant that almost all of us can get behind. Douglas plays a man who we may not root for all the way through the film, but in some strange way we might relate to. And why not? After all, especially in today's world, there is so much insanity surrounding us and so much anxiety suffocating our psyche that it may be only a matter of time before we all just get out of the car one day and say, fuck it, and just head home. Gentlemen, opening thoughts. And I use the term very loosely tonight.
Yeah.
I know. They're not really
Gentlemen.
thoughts. They're more like...
Perverts, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, right. Not enough tits.
Needs more cum! Who's going for Brian? Brian, opening thoughts.
This was a really good movie. It's one of the few where Michael Douglas plays a bad guy, I guess you would call him a bad guy, even though we're kind of following him along his journey and almost, in a way, rooting for him. You can't help but think in the back of your head that what he's doing just isn't right.
Well, then you start learning more about him.
Right. No matter exactly how he thinks he's doing the right thing.
Right.
The more exactly the police start piecing together what's going on,
right,
and his wife making calls to the police to stop him from coming to the house because we find out that she's got a restraining order against him. He's got violent tendencies. He's got anger issues. And after he snaps in traffic in the heat and decides to just go for a walk, which turns into a rampage, basically, this movie... It's pretty intense, I gotta say. Yeah. It went in places I really didn't think it was going to go, and I was surprised too that this was I forgot it was a Joel Schumacher film. Yeah. You know, Joel Schumacher, who did the unfavorable Batman sequels after Tim Burton gave up the directing chair, and it was really good. It was I think it was more a product of its time. I mean, this took place in the 90s, like right after or right around the time of the LA riots.
It was filmed during it.
Yeah, during the LA riots.
It happened while they were filming in Linwood.
I mean, like I said, it was such a product of its time, too. I don't know if a movie like this could be made today, but thank God it was made because I enjoy it. I don't think it's a movie I could watch over and over again. I haven't seen this movie. I watched it Sunday night. And I don't think I watched it since it came out. Honestly, this is a movie I knew.
So you
of.
had seen it before? Or no?
I watched it when it came out. I remember seeing this in the movie theater back in '93, and I mean, I liked it. I was a lot younger at the time. My mindset was probably a lot different back then, and now it's like I don't think I can get behind Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
I don't think he's doing the right.
Yeah,
thing.
he's not exactly.
He's not going about it the right way.
Right.
So as much as I like the movie, I like the fact that the outcome was the way it was. Right. And we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very cool movie. If you guys haven't seen it out there, please watch it.
Yeah, he has vigilante tendencies.
He really does.
Not
Well, he's asked,
thinks
what
he's doing
kind of
the right
vigilante
thing.
are you?
Yeah.
And he doesn't see himself
Right.
as a He says to the Nazi guys,
That's
like,
right.
I'm
American.
I'm not a vigilante. I'm just trying to get home.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's
Right.
some truth to it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get to it on mine.
Yeah.
Tito, how about you?
Yeah, this is like watching someone play Grand Theft Auto. Like he's just leveling up,
Yeah.
which is
Absolutely.
I wish I could make. I've never
He gets
played Grand Theft
different
Auto. So I wish
weapons.
I could make
Like
that.
a
one.
red-
he's got a knife, then he's got a fucking Uzi.
I didn't even think about
Ends
that.
up with
then
a
he's got
rocket.
bazooka. It's like, what the fuck is going
How
on?
did
here?
Rockstar not make this into a game?
Right,
They did.
They made,
They saw the movie falling down, and they
should
made it
have,
into
though.
a
They made
video
Warriors
game
into
series.
a game. It's very good. It's tough because I like Joel Schumacher most of the time, and I think there are like touches to this movie that I think kind of take away from the edge of it, where he's trying to add some comedy to parts where I'm just like, what are you doing? Specifically like the missile launching scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
when the
with the
kid on the
kid.
bike.
That
is
one
telling-
like pops into my head immediately, but it's like, oh, you just try to make a funny moment in a movie about a sociopath. That just doesn't hit for me. But overall, I love Michael Douglas. I think he's phenomenal in this movie.
Was it though, or was it more of a social commentary on the fact that like he's just a guy, he doesn't know how these things work, but yet a kid knows how to work it.
Oh yes,
point.
that's in there
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But he shoots it straight down, and it's funny. They're like, oh, I guess it didn't work.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't.
It follows the ditch and then blows
I don't
up
know.
way down
Maybe,
the line.
Yeah.
I think in some instances he's trying to do that, but overall, I think it's a really, really entertaining movie. I think it's actually pretty topical. While I was watching, it, I was like, oh, this could be. Which is funny because maybe everything's topical all the fucking time because the world is cyclical.
Good call.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hadn't seen this movie in years either.
Yeah.
Maybe since I was in high school. But I love Michael Douglas, but this isn't a go-to for me for him. And this isn't a Schumacher go-to for me either. So it just kind of like, got lost in my couch.
Yeah.
Because there are other movies that I love of theirs.
Yeah.
But this is a...
J.D. Vance will find it.
Yeah. After he fucks it.
Hey! Brought it back to fuck it.
That's just what we do here. But yeah, and
Do you hear that laughter? Do you hear that laughter?
Yeah.
That's how you do comedy.
You know who I think is really funny in this movie, and it works so well, and I like his character better, is fucking Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall.
I love when he plays this kind of character, like the guy, like I want to be his partner.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with him. He's the fucking greatest when he does roles like this. And he gets kind of, I don't want to say he gets lost, but I feel because Michael Douglas's role is so big and unexpected that, he dominates the film. And he should because he's very talented. I just like fucking Robert Duvall is killing it in this movie for me. I love him.
This is a once-a-year movie for me, and it's one of my favorite Joel Schumacher films. I don't root for Michael Douglas in the movie. I root against everything in the movie trying to stop him, which is why I like it. You are never not going to be pissed off. People are going to piss you off. Things are going to piss you off, which is why this movie is always going to be topical. It's always going to hold up in one capacity or another, depending on what the atmosphere. It does not matter. You are going to always be stuck in traffic. You're going to be treated rudely by people. You're going to come across people that you do want to kill. And, of course, you don't do it because it's wrong. But and for Michael Douglas, he doesn't handle it the right way, but all he's trying to do is go home. And there are things that just need to get out of his way that won't. Give the guy a fucking breakfast sandwich. How bad is it going to be? It's like right at 11 o'clock.
5 minutes past. Yeah,
Those old farts could have gotten off the golf course and just let him walk by.
I know.
Everybody gets pissed, stuck in traffic. No one roots for traffic. No one roots for construction. So, is he a vigilante? No. He's not out for justice. He's not. He claims he's an American, and he sports out a lingo when it like fits him, but he's just trying to get home, and everybody is getting in his way. Is the majority of this movie for me.
But the thing is that in the beginning, yes, you think, oh, he's just trying to get home. He's had a bad day at work. He wants to get home.
Once he kills the Nazi, then you could even argue that he's just as bad. But that's literally self-defense. The what the hell do you call this?
convenience
Like the Army Navy store?
Army Navy
store?
the surplus
Yeah.
store. That guy
Yeah.
just keeps pushing him to a point where he doesn't go in there. He never really goes looking for any trouble. It's just following him everywhere.
Right.
And he just doesn't know how to react to it. He's very bad at reacting to situations. He can't walk away with them. He's fed up with his job. But they keep pushing.
Yeah.
Nobody just lets him go.
No, they
nobody
all
will
suck,
leave him
for
alone.
sure.
They all suck. A vigilante, it's different. He goes out looking for trouble. They're looking to solve problems.
Exactly.
He doesn't want to solve the problems. He wants to get the hell out of there. But circumstances, evade, and then he goes into a spiel where he spouts out, "Oh, this is America. Prices need to be down low," or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there are catalysts to every one of those things. If he just got out of his car and went home, he would not be a killer, but he would be an unfit father. He's definitely, he has psychological
well, that's the thing.
issues.
It's like when you find out all that stuff
absolutely,
about his
which
past.
is why you don't really root for him all the way. But I can understand him to a
Which
point.
is funny because if you think of it this way, say there's a news station gets a hold of this story and is following all of his exploits.
Oh, people would make a hero out of him.
Exactly, because you're not getting the other side of like the truth behind his marriage, and the fact that he, it doesn't have a job and he's got this,
you see what's on.
Right.
I get that. Also, Robert Duvall is fantastic in this role. I think he is one of the most toughest people you'll meet in this movie. He has a lot to put up with. Mm-hmm. The death of his daughter. His wife. Unhinged.
Tuesday Weld.
Yeah, and his police department sucks.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Put kitty litter in his fucking drawer right over the fucking picture of his daughter.
Yeah,
that always bugged me.
Yeah.
Even then, I'm like, he's got that asshole. It's not Bill Paxton, but it's the guy you get when Bill Paxton's not available. It's the guy he punches.
His captain.
Yeah, not his captain.
Oh no, the one he punches into the cake.
Yeah, when he punches. His captain is.
Raymond Barry.
Raymond Barry, who's
always
an awesome character actor. Yeah, everything from Predator 2 and fucking Rapid Fire to The Ref. Great actor.
Oh, I forgot he was in the Ref.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Told me she came 3 times, Bob. She had never done it 3 times, but anyway. And I also think the film, you mentioned the comedy. I think this movie's funny from start to finish. I think the comedy's always there. It doesn't stop it for me. Right from the beginning, when Robert Duvall's trying to move the helicopter and he flashes the badge, and then the guy in the car's like, "I'm into linoleum tiles myself."
Honestly, that stuff. I think that is funny.
It's all through. It's
some of
all
the Michael
through the
Douglas
movie,
stuff
though.
that I just don't think is.
I like
funny
it.
for
I
the
like
character.
it because it snaps him out of the rage and it shows a different side to
What
him.
bothers me is this guy's a monster, and the entirety of the movie, they're trying to make you feel empathy for him.
But
There's nothing redeeming about him.
I don't think he's a monster.
Zero.
I don't think he's a monster.
I think he is.
If he wasn't going to kill his family that day, he was going to kill them 5 years down the line.
Exactly.
I think he's a monster in training. I think he's on the verge of becoming one, but I don't think he's I don't think he's totally. Let's put it this way: I don't think he's totally lost at this point. There still could be time. If he had gone with Robert Duvall, if he didn't, I think he could have gotten some
Mark's
help.
anti-Minority Report.
Exactly.
I love
they're
that
not
movie.
guilty until you actually do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Derek.
That's all I got.
Funny thing is, this was my pick, but
What's so funny about that?
Well, because I had never seen it.
Oh, that's.
But we talked about this movie, and
I thought you did.
No, I had never seen it.
You had it on your voodoo even before.
I know.
I know.
That's like
it's one of those ones. I
30%
thought I had
of his
seen
movies.
it. I thought I had seen it.
Yeah.
And I knew of it.
Were you surprised that it was produced by Jerry Bruckheimer?
I didn't recognize that part.
It's not.
No, it's not. Fuck you. Right there.
It's not. Don't walk into it again.
I was surprised that it was a Schumacher movie, but
it's better than first time.
No, so I realized I hadn't seen this movie, but more importantly, I thought I knew the real premise, and I was totally wrong. I didn't realize Michael Douglas isn't just some normal everyman who loses it because of the stress. I didn't expect him to be an actual bad guy, and it really bothered me as the movie progressed.
Mm-hmm. It did its job.
Yeah, and I think I agree. I think this really illustrates how bad people can be and how this isn't something that's far-fetched.
You know what? If it was November 4th, he would have voted. He would have drove home, waited for the results, been happy as shit, and everybody would still be alive.
Yeah.
Honestly, 100%.
He was just like, oh, it all worked out.
From the moment.
Yeah, but he doesn't like Nazis. We've established that.
No, but from the moment he goes into the store, like the first time you really get a twinge of like, oh, this guy's kind of a jerk, is in the convenience store, and when he's talking about learning the language and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All I could think of is like, there's people out there like this, and I could totally picture this happening.
I've heard everybody say it though. Customer service, people get off the phone, they all say it.
I know.
Everybody's guilty of doing it, and
that's
don't
why,
pretend you're not.
And that's why it's
does that
perfect
warrant going into a store and smashing everything with a baseball bat? No. However, give the guy people can see when somebody is like, a little out there. Just give the guy the soda, or give the guy a coin and give him his fucking. Just let him make a phone call.
If he hadn't been such a prick about the change and everything, then it wouldn't have happened.
And that's what I mean. People do not back down on him.
Well,
They're just as guilty.
Right.
Yeah, I think Michael Douglas's problem is that he finds himself in a world he's never been in and expects it to apply the same rules that his regular everyday life
his
does.
white guy rule.
Well, not necessarily that, but like just the convenience store in the fucking bad part of town sells shit for a lot more than he's not wrong. It should be cheaper.
Right. Yeah.
But that guy sells everything really expensive to the poor people that live in that neighborhood, unfortunately.
Right.
But again, the police force,
they stink.
They're assholes too.
They're terrible at their jobs.
These are not the people that are cracking down on baseball bats, but the way they talk to the store owner, he's Chinese.
That's
he's
a fucking
Korean.
hysterical
I'm
scene.
Chinese. In case you
that
bothered to
shit's
notice.
hilarious. Yeah,
That's
that was
right.
very funny.
The way they,
which is funny because the actor that played the Chinese guy
is Japanese.
Yeah. And the other guy is.
The Korean guy is actually Chinese.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, really? That's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really funny line.
There's a lot of great funny moments.
I like that scene because it's paced, like the pacing of this movie is really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's quick watch.
I think Schumacher, but not just like the length of it, but more like.
There we go again.
Like the level
the height of it,
the length of it.
God damn,
the girth of this movie.
The way that like the layers that get peeled off, the way that he kind of
they do.
Which
you know what I get?
Make a real point.
I know what you mean. I can't. Dude, let me ask you this. Michael Douglas gets out of the car and half of the shit doesn't, or any of the crap that happens to him where he comes across doesn't happen, and he gets home. Or say it ends with him attacking the store owner, which he doesn't really attack the store owner. He just attacks all the food and lowers the prices. He goes on his way. They follow him. He gets home. And they meet up with him there. Do you think it would have ended equally as badly?
No.
As if he did all that? Exactly.
No. He would have ended up in jail.
He would have.
I don't think he would have
made it
been to the point where he was ready to commit suicide.
Service. They could have gotten in touch with the mom then. They would have known more about him. A couple of psychologists, counseling. It could have been a little better. Yeah. I don't think he's 100%, gone at that point.
And that's the thing. So what I was kind of trying to say was that, like, you think at first, all right, he's going to lose it, and it's because of the racist thing. Like, he's thinking like, oh, this fucking guy who's not from his country, or whatever. But that's not what pushes him over the edge. It's the fact that he's being an asshole about the change, and the money and everything. So, like that, the way that first interaction kind of hints at how he is, but then pulls it back and doesn't make it the fuse that gets lit. I liked that. I liked the way that, like, with each interaction, you start to find more about him, and like you go from one end of like rooting for him, to the end where you're at, where you're totally anti him. So I really dug the way that like the way that it progressed and the way that they kind of exposed certain things about him over time. I think they did a really good job with that.
I'm going to follow up on that really quick. In the first part of the movie, it does seem like he's coming off racist. He has a problem with the Latino community. They're all after him because he has that turf war with the two guys. And then, before that, you have the store clerk with the. So I don't understand 5. There's a 5. You come to my country. You should learn. I mean, you see, like, okay, yeah, this dude's racist, but as the situations get worse, it's pretty much white people. It's the people behind the restaurant. It's the army surplus guy. It's the farts on the golf course. The old white dudes on the golf course.
Yeah.
And the moments where he has time to kind of sit down and reflect on what's really happening, these little moments of like where he's human, these touching moments, is where he sees the black guy who's not economically viable, and he drives off in the car. He gets arrested by the cops.
Yep.
He drives away and he looks and they make eye contact and he goes,
says,
"Don't forget me.
Yeah.
Don't forget me." And they have this nice moment. And then Tito brought up again this kind of tender moment when he breaks out of the Rampage character to have that exchange with the black kid who's showing him how to use the gun.
The grenade launcher.
What's the movie you're shooting? Oh, it's a movie. You know,
Right.
So then the whole card it switches. The race card flips.
Right.
You know, and then he.
Well, it's like Schumacher.
I don't know.
I think Schumacher is
the irony
illustrating
of how easy it was to arrest the black guy standing out front of a bank than it is to arrest the guy who's shooting up the fucking city.
Right.
Oh no, the racism is in the movie, but I mean,
which I really appreciate.
His racial
Well, the thing, so
racism, I guess his racism.
It kind of makes
how does it escalate or does
it makes the convenience store comment kind of more like your average American gripe.
Yeah. I don't want to cut you off, but maybe we should get into. We can kind of talk about these things.
Let's do. Yeah, we got a lot to do.
No, but
we
can talk about the scenes.
Yeah, this is such a good movie.
I had another thought, but when we get to that scene, I'll bring it up.
Derek, do it up.
All right, so Falling Down, 1993, directed by Joel Schumacher, lacking in any neon colors or gratuitous nipples.
Thank God.
Starring Michael Douglas, Robert Duvall, Barbara Hershey, Raymond Barry, and Rachel Ticotin.
Ticotin.
Dude,
Well, immediately
Rico.
Oh, she's in Con Air.
She's
the lady.
Man, everybody was always for
Jerry
what's her
Bruckheimer.
name?
Yeah, Jerry fucking Bruckheimer.
Everybody was always for Maria Conchata.
Yeah.
Oh, Maria Conchita Alonso.
Yeah.
I fucking love her.
I was for this girl though.
Yeah.
I can never remember her name, but I
like
awesome.
her,
and she's great in this.
A little bit of trivia. It's a favorite of Douglas. I know that you said it's not your favorite. Oh no,
that was me.
Tito said that it was not your favorite Schumacher movie, not your favorite Douglas movie.
My favorite.
It's Douglas's favorite performance of his own.
Yeah, I heard that. Too.
I agree with him.
It was also his father's favorite performance of him.
Nice.
I could see that.
And the script itself. The only reason why this got made, because all the Hollywood studios turned it down, was because Michael Douglas read it and thought that it was the best script that he's ever read.
Yeah,
so he pushed to get it made. Iron Maiden's song "Man on the Edge" is based on this movie.
Yes, it is.
And I wanted to share an
There's a few other songs that are based on this movie.
Oh
too.
yeah. I just wanted to share an interesting quote because the screenwriter Ebb, I think that's how you pronounce it, Ebbe. So I'm guessing Ebb. Ebb Rowe Smith, who also has a cameo as the man on the freeway.
Is he the linoleum tile guy or the guy who gets punched?
I think the guy that got punched.
Oh, that's a good scene too.
Yeah, he's an actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's only written 3 things about what his interpretation of the movie was about. And he says, "To me, even though the movie deals with complicated urban issues, it really is about one basic thing. The main character represents the old power structure of the U.S. that's become archaic and hopelessly lost. For both of them, it's adjust or die time." I'm glad I picked this movie because it's a bit topical, despite it being from 30 years ago. So,
well, again, it doesn't matter. I think the concepts in this movie
timeless.
Right?
Yeah.
Be timeless.
Right.
It's going to be topical. No matter what. As long as there are people, it's going to be topical.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for sure.
To get back to the Iron Maiden thing, the Foo Fighters music video for their song
Walk right?
is inspired by and mimics this movie. And there was one other one too.
So let's to get started.
All right,
so it starts with a very horror movie-esque opening. Like the titles are very like ominous and kind of it feels like a horror movie. Douglas he's sitting in traffic, surrounded by various auto chaos. As the stress builds, we find the AC is not working. It's just a never-ending slew of things pushing him over the edge: traffic, kids, loudmouths, busybodies, broken windows. And
a
AC.
fly.
A fly
in his car.
This is the most horrific part of this goddamn movie for me. Is this opening.
The evil Garfield, and of course a fly.
The evil Garfield. I forgot about that.
The fly buzzes.
Sharp teeth.
The fly buzzes and avoids death, and this is the last straw. He up and gets out of his car, leaving there in the traffic and running off to go home.
It's the only thing he doesn't kill.
Yep. Elsewhere in traffic, a cop has arrived at the car, and he joins him to move the car. He pushes it away. It's his last day as a cop. You find out he's a detective, actually. Getting too old for this shit. I put that in there.
Yeah, I know. That's the first thing I thought of.
Totally.
Oh, that old trope. It's my last day. Oh, he's gonna die.
Well, you got the motorcycle cop who's a prick
he's a
to
dick.
him. Don't touch it, me.
Yeah.
Don't touch. He treats Pendergast like an old man. You know, like
don't touch the bike.
Go wait over there.
Yeah.
It's like, who are you? That's Robert Duvall, asshole. He was a Corleone.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was a Hagen. I'm sorry, but he worked for the
He was part of the
Consigliere.
He was, concierge. He was a Corleone. He was more of a Corleone than Fredo was. That's
That's smart.
fair on. Yeah.
He's smart.
Wow. No, it was you, Fredo.
I was stepped over.
Douglas makes a call to someone from a payphone. A woman and her daughter rush into the house as the phone rings, but he doesn't say anything when she answers, so we don't know what's going on. He then goes to a convenience store. He wants to get some more change, but the owner won't make change. He makes him buy something, so he gets a can of Coke.
Honestly, if that motherfucker put his soda all over his face, I'd be like 95 cents, dude. You just put your face all over that fucking can. $2.
Sure.
I know.
That's right. He did that.
Cools himself off with the Coke before he buys it. At least he bought the one that he used. He didn't.
He was
put it back.
for sure.
he was
No.
willing to buy it.
Yeah. He's got those,
I was talking to Freeman about this movie today. It's like, I love how he goes ballistic that the soda is 75 cents. I was in the store with my daughter the other day, and I got a can of Coke, and it was like $2.29, and I thought of this movie.
Ridiculous.
I'm like, Jesus, I think I
should have smashed the
I was
product.
like, Emily, grab a bat. We have a right to do this.
Yeah.
Falling down taught me it was okay.
If only soda was still 50 cents.
Yeah. 50 cents.
So he mistakes the Korean guy for a Chinese man. He gets in an altercation with them. And eventually he starts this rant about the prices and starts destroying the store. He's pointing out where, while he thought he was the robber, he's actually the store owner's the real robber because of all the overpriced prices. He then buys the Coke for the 50 cents that he should have been charged and leaves with his change.
After taking his change.
Yep.
So, again, doesn't hurt the clerk, pays for the soda, still willing to pay for the soda after making his statement. I'm going to defend this guy through this whole movie.
Yeah.
But his statement was busting up the store.
Yeah, no, I know.
Right.
All for a can of Coke. Let it go.
Right.
Let it go.
Should have just let him take it for the 50 cents.
75.
So Prendergast's last day is at the office is full of ridicule. His name's Prendergast.
Yeah, not
Pendergast.
Pendergast.
I'm sorry, guys. Pendergast.
There's a lot of jokes at his expense.
Antidote.
We mentioned he digs through his desk that's filled with kitty litter that
I
look like
hate that
sand.
scene.
There's little poos in there. Also.
There's little poos.
Yeah.
It's over,
Pulls
it's over
out
his
a-
daughter's picture.
Pulls out a framed picture of a little girl. He gets a phone call from a blonde woman who you start to put the pieces together.
Mr. Peepers.
Remember, I write this as we go. So
No, you're doing a fine job.
who is asking him to come home because she's scared. They are relocating. He tries to calm her, singing to her.
Lake Havasu.
Right. She puts the phone down next to an identical picture of the blonde girl. So boom, mother and father of the daughter. Defends, who is what we're going to call him because
That was his license plate on the car that he abandoned. D-Fens.
Yep. He continues his walk home, now armed with his briefcase and the billy club that came from the store, which I love that. Like you said,
a weird bat.
It really
It
but I love like you said,
Grand Theft Auto, dude.
it's very like as the movie progresses, he
Grand
gets
Theft Auto.
he upgrades.
He even changes his outfit.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Blues,
Yeah.
he gets a fancy
Yeah.
shirt.
G.I. Joe is back.
He's followed by two gang members, and they start circling him around the concrete steps from the movie poster. They tell him he's trespassing and threaten him. It's a great image. Like
Yeah, it really is.
thing with him on there.
Like he's on a pedestal.
Right, even sitting drinking the Coke, like that's a really cool shot. He offers to leave, but they get threatening again, and say that they'll need a toll, demanding his briefcase. He says
no fucking trespassing.
He's not giving it.
Fucking you. Says all that.
Says all that.
That's good.
It's so hard to. Up until he puts on the G.I. Joe suit, I think up until that point, it's hard not to like this guy
there's
a little bit.
Right before that,
of
there
that.
is.
What part is? Okay,
I'll get to it.
All right, challenge accepted. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can defend
It's like
him.
right before it, though.
No. All right.
But yeah, so he says the thing about it says all that, the language thing. Maybe if you learn English or whatever. He says he's not giving the briefcase to them, and after they pull a knife on him, he hits both of them with the billy club, beating them and causing them to run off. Which, a moment of joy. We were rooting for him in this point.
It is. I mean, whether you're rooting for him or not, that is technically self-defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Saying. I
Defend
feel like a defense attorney here. I'm
and they run away. And they run away. It works. And after the exchange, he obtains the knife, so he levels up again.
Dude, you know what I love? Fucking butterfly knives. I haven't seen one in a movie in such a long time.
And then he tries to do it.
He says, like, how do they do this?
How do they do that?
I used to love butterfly
That's another
knives
great
in
moment
movies.
of when he's in the zone of his little rampage, and then all of a sudden he's like, how do they do that? And it's like he breaks out of it.
Like back to a normal human being.
Yeah, like an actual sociopath. Yeah.
Back at the police station, Prendergast is signing over his gun. The Korean man from the convenience store is brought in to file the report, which is a cool scene, like you said, and I like how he realizes it's not really a robbery. He didn't steal anything.
Yeah. Oh, we paid for the soda. This guy's trouble.
So
he stole my bat,
and the other guy realizes the other cop realizes that it's assault, not a
not a robbery.
Like we learn at this point, Prendergast is a detective that works in robbery and But as he's going to bring him away, he does mention how he stole his bat. So so it is a robbery.
I really like. He's just like, if you got a chance to know me, like you would know that I'm Japanese.
Yeah.
Like you don't know fucking shit about me, dude.
Right.
And we work together. Fuck you. I love that shit. So funny.
Well, but that's like the captain too, because the captain doesn't know shit about him.
Well, the captain.
100%. Yeah.
And he's
you
like
know what I don't
superior.
like about you? You don't curse. You're always so perfect.
But that makes more sense to me than the dude you're in the bullpen with.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or even if they're in like different divisions. I just think that's funny.
Maybe he's one of those guys that brings smelly fish to work. No one likes that guy.
Yeah.
Stinking up
puts
the
it in
office.
the microwave.
Right. Like, don't bring that.
That's true. I don't like when people do that.
Right.
Yeah.
See, you don't know. You don't know these people's backstories.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't want to know.
elsewhere, the gangbangers are riding around looking for defense, who is making another call to the woman. She says she knows it's him. She tells him he's supposed to stop calling, and also that it's their daughter's birthday. He says he's coming home. You start to get the hint of the fact that they're not married anymore. That he's not supposed to be doing what he's doing. The gangbangers spot him on the phone. On the phone, it's become apparent that they're
the payphone on the
not
corner.
a very good breakup. He's very threatening.
Yeah.
And this is where it starts to kind of like, oh, okay,
He's not. He might not be such a good guy.
Something's off with this guy.
Yeah.
Well, he to jump ahead, he's never physically abused her.
But she thought
scared
that he
of
would.
him.
Yeah.
She's scared that
She was worried that eventually
he
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 would.
does have anger issues.
I think if the daughter wasn't in the picture, definitely.
And if you know anybody who's had that type of thing happen in their real life, like
Right.
that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Is you worry and you think, and then if people don't do anything about it, they sometimes wind
She's
up
real
dead.
stale in this fucking movie.
She is.
Barbara Hershey
She's
is
not.
real
Yeah,
stale.
she's
Just
not great.
kind
I
of
think
a
she's kind of
throwaway in
wasted,
this.
man.
Yeah.
I agree.
But her
There's not a lot
character
going on
is
for her.
a little like, oh no, he never really hit me, but he could. But I feel like she doesn't do a whole lot to protect her daughter.
Yeah, I just feel like even her performance in general is just very flat.
Acting wise,
And even the end when she brings the daughter,
to the pier.
bring her to the police station.
Yeah.
She should have canceled the party.
Yeah, I know. I know. That bugged
is
me.
Is it really important? I don't know. Go ahead.
I mean, he does.
That
He
was
literally tells her
pre-cell
he's coming
phone.
home.
What?
So
That was pre-cell phone.
I don't care.
So you don't know if everybody's
if you were
home.
if this guy
If
was
you're trying
really,
to call people, like, fuck, she's not home.
yeah, but you know what?
She's gonna show up.
But you know what? Back then, they used to have the phone trees, so they would have gotten in touch with everybody. One person would call like two people, and then those two people
Oh,
would
is that
call.
a thing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where you're from?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
where I'm from.
But,
dude.
you know, no,
It just wasn't.
not
It just
back
wasn't.
then
We
either.
didn't have the phone
Listen,
tree thing.
Wait a
where I
minute,
came from.
though. If I'm a parent and I'm driving my kid to a birthday party, and then all of a sudden we find out it's canceled and there's cop cars
You know,
everywhere,
Well, that's the thing.
I'm not
I
going
was
to
gonna say- I was just
give
trying to
them a
say
hard
that.
time.
You got all these kids waiting at the fucking white picket fence with this police tape all over the place.
Yeah.
That's actually the most
you
surprising
really think
thing.
the party's on?
Yeah,
Right.
that's the surprising
Do you really
thing
think
about
the
the
party's
movie.
on?
At the end of the movie, that's the most surprising thing. You're like,
Exactly.
wait a minute, all these fucking people are here for the party?
I know.
Yeah.
I thought they were all dead.
Oh, here's the
And Duvall's like, let him have it.
right. Here's the Joel
the
Schumacher
party.
part.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
There's that.
Now it's falling apart.
There's the nipples
Okay,
on
it's
the-
a Joel
yeah.
Schumacher
The
movie.
nipples just showed up.
All right. So,
I'll get to it at the end when we get to
so
the
speaking of horrible violence, the gang does a drive-by. And they kill, or at least
Several
wound
people.
Several people,
They get
random
shot,
people,
yeah.
before speeding off. D,
Well, they
however,
miss him.
is unscathed, completely
That's a great
unscathed.
scene. I love
Yeah.
it how he's
Yep.
not even
Yeah.
phased and the bullets are fucking whizzing by.
Around the corner, the gang crashes their car, speeding away, and they look pretty much dead. There's
One of them is.
One of them's
yeah.
crawling. D observes as one from before lays on the street. He tells them they missed, and he takes his Uzi and shoots him in the leg.
Yeah. And then takes the whole bag of weapons.
Bags up the gun, walks off.
Leaves them to die, but does not kill them.
That's right.
Where's
Yeah,
that
that's
line?
right.
Batman does that to Ra's al Ghul. I don't have to save you, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And he's a hero.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Thank you,
Shot
Brian.
one in the leg. That'll probably kill him.
Yeah.
Just so he doesn't get up and chase after him.
Right.
Just
He'll
in
slowly
case.
bleed to death.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I got your guns.
It's a cerebral.
I mean, he did try to kill him, and he did wound or possibly kill some innocent people. So,
Yeah.
Prendergast visits the captain, Raymond Barry. Prendergast is retiring early and won't get his full pension. He asks if it's because he was wounded. He seems to be a dick. He is.
Yeah.
He also
The
doesn't
captain.
seem to know him personally. Yeah, the captain. He discovers that they have no children and that he lost one. So we start to get the story of
You are
Prendergast.
married, right? It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
that's fucking awful. Yeah.
On another corner, D is looking around, observing the world around him. Rude, inconsiderate people who seem to only be paying attention to themselves. A concept that is not unlike today, for that matter.
Even more so with the cell phones.
Right. Back at Beth's house, she is talking to an officer about the call. She talks about him having a huge temper. He doesn't drink or do drugs, but yet has a penchant for violence. And that he never hit Adele, who's the daughter, or Beth.
Yeah.
But Beth says that
That's when she loses
filed the
the
restraining
cops.
order because she thought, yeah, exactly.
That's when they're like, oh, fuck it. What are we doing here?
Exactly. Even the cops seem bored with
Right.
this.
Yeah.
They don't care.
In a busy park, D is once again witnessing everything going on. He gets approached by a homeless guy who's clearly lying continuously as he begs for money. He's
Come
giving all kinds
on,
of stories.
Oh yeah.
You got two
Right.
bags. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he
Yeah,
says
I
that,
got a bands. I got a basket.
Yeah, I need food. I need food. He's holding a
eating the
sandwich in his hand.
Yeah, it's fucking-
and this is a big turning point in the movie too, because he wants to. He has two bags. The guy asks him, "Well, give
Yes.
me one, and I'll
Yes.
resell it." And he gives him the briefcase,
Yeah.
as opposed to the bag of guns that he
Yeah.
probably could have given him.
Right.
So it's kind of his.
How's he going to kill everybody if he doesn't have his guns?
Yeah.
Well, exactly, but like, well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So like, it's the turning point. He's
You're right.
He's
That-
no longer the
Yeah.
working man.
He's giving up his past, and this is who
Right.
he's becoming. He's
Right.
the guy with the guns now.
Well, this is the point where you figure out he's not a working man.
Right.
His
Right.
fucking briefcase is
Right,
full of a
it's empty.
sandwich.
It's
and
full of
a
half a
banana.
sandwich, an apple,
Yeah.
and I forget.
It's lunch.
Something
It's
else.
just
Yeah.
lunch.
That's all it
Yeah.
is.
The girl who is the girl who is with the gang members is at the police station next. She's being
Who I
questioned.
thought was Michelle Rodriguez, because it looks like a Target version.
Maybe
of
like
her.
12.
She did
Yeah.
the first shot of
When
her.
I
She did.
coulda-
I thought so too.
I had a Mandela. I could have swore it was fucking Michelle Rodriguez in this movie, but it wasn't.
No, I agree, because that first shot of her in the car with them, definitely she did look like I thought it was her too. I
They
was
make
like,
that
oh, she's a
same
young-
face. They make that same pouty face
right?
that you.
But I think she's actually. I want to say she was in Dangerous Minds.
She was in she was in Lean on Me, and you ever see 187 with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yes.
She's in that too.
I know I haven't seen it.
That's a
It's
good
fun.
movie.
It's not
liked it.
dissimilar from Falling Down.
Yeah,
No.
pretty much.
It's about a teacher who kind of loses his shit.
Oh, I love those.
on his
type-
students.
I like when people
Yeah.
lose their shit in movies. It's good. I do.
And Samuel
As long
Jackson
as they
plays
flush.
the guy who
As
loses
long
his
as they
shit.
flush. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So this girl saw D when everything went down. When she tells them about the attack with the bat, Prendergast comes in realizing he's connected to the store. So he begins to connect the dots as far as location and wonders why a white guy would be walking through gangland. Next on the journey, at a fast food restaurant, Whammy Burger?
Whammy burger.
Whammy burger.
Defend. I keep saying defends.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. That's what I call it in the movie.
His real name is William Foster.
Well, we don't find that out yet.
Yes,
don't spoil it.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't know.
Some people listen to this as they're watching the movie. No,
are they?
Probably not.
At this point, yeah, no, they still are.
So we mentioned about the scene. Dee wants breakfast, but they stop serving it.
Like a minute.
And this is also something that like is a huge thing with people in general. Like they hate that they stop serving breakfast at a certain time.
Everybody's gotten.
And now most places serve breakfast all fucking day.
This is no longer a thing anymore.
Right, because of this movie.
For sure. But back
they don't want this to happen.
Or Big Daddy. You owe me an egg McMuffin.
Like if TikTok had been around back then, this guy would be about to become a star. So the manager who acts like he's a Westworld robot at first. He's like very. Like with his fake smile.
That guy. He plays a doofus and everything.
The manager is the Seidler. How do you say it in Seinfeld? The Seidler.
He's the Seidler.
He's the Seidler in Seinfeld. The guy that sneaks up on.
She gives him the Tic Tacs and then
and he's also the guy that Martin Landau says "fuck you" to in Ed Wood.
Really?
Carlos does not deserve to smell my shit.
And the cashier is Dee Dee Pfeiffer. She's the younger sister of Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes, she's a cutie.
She is a
cutie. She can't keep a straight face through the whole scene.
For sure.
And not only that, but at the moment when, like, oh God, what the hell is her name in the movie? But she's like, I'm calling you Sheila, and I'm calling you Rick, and I
don't know you.
I don't know you. Why? I've known my boss for how many?
Right.
It's so hard. I like this guy. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't keep rooting for him. He's trying so hard to be
with him in this scene.
He's trying to be a human being.
Yeah.
The guy is a dick. Just
the manager he refuses to give him the breakfast.
It's totally irrational.
5 minutes. 5 minutes past.
Being totally irrational.
Even before he takes out,
irrational.
Even before he takes the gun out of the bag, but he puts the bag on the counter in that very menacing way, and there's that big bang.
Right. It's a clear warning. Maybe this guy's not all there.
I don't know. It's weird. Whenever I go to like a fast food place, I look at the menu. I'm like, oh, I guess breakfast is over. Can I have a cheeseburger?
Yeah.
I mean, the menu tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I got to McDonald's with a craving for a sausage, egg and cheese biscuit, and I had
the place,
and I was forced to order one of their other crappy meals. Yeah.
Crappy meal.
Oh, they're fucking
Thing is, though,
horrible,
Tito, the menu tells you all you need to know now. Back then, they didn't have the LCD screen menus.
That's true.
No, they would slide.
No, but
would they?
They still had menus overhead.
I mean, I worked at a fast food place where they slid.
Yeah,
where they would spin around.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about 93, but
anyway,
later.
Dee pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
Panic hits, but he calms everyone down, including the blonde bully from Hocus Pocus. He's in a booth by the door. The blonde kid with the long hair.
Oh yeah,
is the blonde bully from Hocus Pocus.
Huh.
And then when he friggin' gets the sandwich and he's like, "Look at this."
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Look at that up there.
Yeah.
So first he looks around and he sees the panic.
Yeah, for sure.
He ends up changing his mind to lunch.
Yeah.
After all that.
He starts asking everybody, "How's your lunch?
And then this leads to the next diatribe about society, the old burger compared to the picture thing. And exactly, like, you always see these advertisements and these pictures, and they're all plump and huge, and you get them.
My daughter's taking an advertising class. She's told me how these things are done.
Yeah.
I remember
incredible
HBO did a special on
how they make these burgers look so good. And
it was like a thing for kids, like how they attract kids.
Bowls of cereal, they don't use milk. It's like Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they have the glue cling to the actual flakes, which aren't actual flakes. Oh yeah. I remember all that shit too.
At lunch, Prendergast and another officer, who we learn is Sandra. She's
Rachel Ticketing.
Rachel Ticketing.
Can I say one quick thing about the fast food thing? Because I know we're on time. But I love when, after he makes the comparison with the burgers, he looks around and he's like, "Can anybody tell me what's wrong with this picture?" And the little kid's just
raises his hand.
It's like, "Yep."
Uh-huh.
And it's another little black kid, right? All the black people are on this guy's side. They're all for him. Watch the movie again.
He's the man of the people.
Watch the movie again. I don't think he harms any African Americans throughout this whole movie, right? I mean, there's not even a cop.
Yeah.
No.
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 Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, he only really harms the gang members.
Yeah. And they come after him.
Right,
like there's
right.
and
the Nazi guy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like the only real like person on person.
The people who are nice
damage
to
he
him
does.
or inadvertently, and if that's the right word, help him in some way or inspire him are all African Americans. The little kid's like, I get it.
Yeah.
Why can't the rest of you? So ahead.
So he's having lunch with Sandra, the other officer, and he's talking about the early retirement, and it's very apparent that they're close, whether they were partners or just one of his only friends there. One of the other cops comes in, the douchebag that gets punched, and tells them about the fast food situation. He realizes it's his guy.
We're not. It's not Bill Paxton. We're going to call him Fred Paxton.
Fred Paxton. Okay.
It's Bill Paxton's loser brother, Fred Paxton.
I like it. On the streets, Dee finds a gift for his daughter and witnesses a protester being arrested. It's the guy shouting about
Levon D. Curtis.
Not economically viable.
The cops at Beth's house decide to leave because they don't think he'll show up.
You think Michael Douglas had trouble getting a loan for his house?
Probably not.
Levon D. Curtis did. Good director.
And interesting fact about that scene. Yeah. He is wearing the same.
He's wearing the same clothes.
Same exact clothes.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He sees him
down to the tie.
Same tie, same shirt, same pants. It's cool. They look like Mormons, just fucking.
That's right.
Raging against the system.
He sees himself.
A couple of fucking Mormons.
Shit.
Dee's on the phone again.
Shout out to Mormons.
He hangs up. There's a rude guy behind him. Starts mouthing off about taking so long.
Friend to the show.
Yeah.
So he turns. He pulls another gun. I love this scene. He pulls another gun and he just blasts the phone booth to bits.
Yeah.
Phone's out of order.
Like, yep.
Yeah. That was like the famous scene in the trailer.
That guy was a dick.
Oh yeah, in the trailer that was the biggest.
That made me and my friends want to see. Oh, there's this guy and he's shooting everybody, and that's all we got from that trailer. We didn't even know any of that.
And I gotta tell you, it's people like that is why I have social anxiety now. Like
the guy that yells about the phone booth.
Yeah. Like because everybody's fucking like that now. No one has any politeness or common decency or patience. It's all about their own their own thing. What
It's
they
cell
need,
phones.
What they want. And cell phone. Yeah.
Thanks, Steve Jobs.
This is why I blame fast food, because somebody started saying have it your way, and now everybody thinks everything in this world is supposed to be their way.
The customer is always right.
That's not true. You could still get McDonald's and sit through a whole movie. Now people can't even sit through a 15-minute YouTube video. It's not fast food. It's people.
Prendergast gets a call from his wife again. She seems like a totally different person. She's better now. She's all better now.
All better.
Sandra calls him on the other line, confirming that it was Dee at the fast food place. The wife wants him to get groceries, but he tells her he's going to be a while, not about the guy, but a lie about parties. She doesn't tell him about Dee and what's going on. She just lies about parties that they might throw for him. He tells Sandra to be careful. We go back to Dee. Now he's in an army surplus store. He's looking for boots to replace his shoes.
Yeah, which I won through.
Right. Which another cool fact, when he's temporarily he put some newspaper in those shoes, and you can see that he had circling
job
things. So it's a hint.
He was fired. He was let go of his company.
Yep.
Yeah.
They made him what he was. Right. He doesn't know what to do.
And at this point, we still don't know what he did for a living. That's another thing. But the store owner comes over to schmooze. He starts making homophobic comments in the direction of two guys in the store shopping. An altercation begins between the owner and the two guys. Dee stays calm and quiet, seeing cops outside. This is what is the scene that like really kind of turned me from him, because he doesn't speak up or say anything about what he's saying about them. He doesn't get mad at this guy until he later on is the guy compares himself to him.
So this is what this is. I don't know if we'll get there to this. This is my favorite scene of the whole movie. I absolutely love this
movie.
This bit of the film.
Right.
This guy who plays the Nazi, he's been in a bunch of shit too. I don't know. He's another great character.
It has this very yeah, man, I hate blacks and gays too, but I'm not a fucking Nazi. Relax, buddy.
Yeah.
Right. Frederick Forrest is the guy that's
he has a moment to be not even a hero, but to be like, no, you're what's wrong with America too.
Right.
Not just the guy gouging me for fucking 35 cents.
But it still goes with the whole thing that he's not going to do anything unless it affects him. That hasn't changed throughout this whole film. If that guy had come after him or away, the guy does come after him, but he's never gotten in anybody else's business.
Yeah,
right.
He doesn't want to do that, and he doesn't want to do it from the start. That's why he says he's not a vigilante.
And I guess it's really more about your personal preference. Like for me, I would have spoken up if I was in a store and someone was making those types of comments.
Not to promote that. It's easy to sit there on the sidelines and say it in the comfort of.
I think it's hard. I think it can be hard to be brave.
And again, but this is what I was saying about the social anxiety. These are the types of people that are out there, and I get more worried about me not being able to keep my mouth shut and not being able to not act and what might happen, what might be the outcome of that.
Right.
So
Depends
I am definitely a person that is not going to stay quiet if I see something like this. And so for me personally, it bothered me.
Yeah, but
it was really the turning point.
In this, I don't want to keep this going because this is going to stretch on. But like in this situation, when it's a seedy guy, it's a seedy kind of place. There's something wrong with the place. There's something wrong with the guy. Yeah. I don't think I'd do it either, and not because of my point of view of anything. It's because I know the person enticing or inciting the fight. There's something off with him, and I'm sorry, but I would not put myself in danger. Secondly, those two guys are jacked gay guys. They're not little. Those guys could easily take that little dude in a fight.
Oh yeah,
and they know it. They leave on their own free will. They're like, you know what? Let's get out of here. In fact, the guy even on the way out, he takes a display of glasses, and they're not afraid of them.
I think the least he could do, honestly, and it takes away from the film, but the least he could do is just leave the fucking store.
Yeah.
Right.
Just leave the store.
Then,
whether he wants to, but it doesn't.
But then you don't get a great
It takes
scene.
the movie away.
Yeah,
but
give it a little
I think it's a very good scene, and I think it's this. I think that's the scene, oddly enough, where he's supposed to realize he's the bad guy and he doesn't. That's what kind of bugs me. Like I get the end where he's like, "Oh, I'm the bad guy." It's like, you didn't realize that you were the bad guy when the guy that's relating most to you.
You're just figuring that out
of
now.
all the people you've interacted with is the fucking Nazi with the can of used gas.
Yeah.
Who's like, take it. It's signed.
Yeah.
Goebbels, take it. It's for you.
No, I think he realized.
Like, whatever.
I think he
wild.
realizes.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
But I don't think he wants to realize it at that point. He realizes it. He's just not ready to admit it yet. He knows it there.
I feel
he totally
like if there's a
knows
moment,
it there.
that's the moment.
When he gets called a vigilante and he says we're the same, he's got to realize that yes, oh my God, we are kind of the same. Yeah. That's what pisses him off.
Well, that's not
he doesn't want to admit it.
That's further on.
Oh, okay.
Let's get into it.
We'll get to that part of the scene.
All right.
So Prendergast asks. We cut back. He's asking the girl from the gang about the bag of guns. Sandra comes into the store and questions about D. The manager denies knowing about them. After hiding D, he starts making sexist comments to her. He brings D back to his private stash out back, which is all Nazi memorabilia. So he asks why he's showing him all this stuff, and he tells him he heard about the fast food place and being a fan, and that they're alike. So he starts making more racist comments about the black restaurant goers that frequent those types of places.
I thought I was listening to the fucking voicemail that Mel Gibson left his wife. In that scene, I was like, this guy's going fucking off. Yeesh.
But that moment comes when he's like, no.
So telling him they're the same angers D. He makes the mistake of pulling a gun on D and finds a gun in the guns in the bag. But when he removes the snow globe and breaks it, D loses it. He pulls the snow globe that was what he bought
for his daughter.
He pulls out the knife from the gangbanger, stabs the Nazi in the shoulder.
Gangbanger, yikes!
That's what I refer to these kids as. Whatever.
But it isn't drop the snow. It's not drop the snow globe and then he loses it and then attacks him. He drops the snow globe. He screams no, and then the guy gets him on his knees with the knife and says, "Give it to me, give it to me, give it." Like he's still going at it.
That guy's insane. Like sometimes people just like snow globes.
I mean, because first he pulls the snow globe.
I gotta be gay because I like snow globes.
Yeah, he starts making homophobic comments to him, and then starts talking about like he's going to send him to jail, and then he'll have guys lined up right behind him like I am right now.
Yeah, he goes on a whole.
So, but he ends up stabbing him, and at the next minute he takes the gun, he shoots him, he kills him.
Do you ever notice? I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you ever notice at points in the movie, which I really do like, because there are a lot of kids. Every so often, there's a little girl that he sees, and those are kind of moments where he's like, oh yeah, I got to get home.
Yeah.
Reminds me of
I
his daughter.
really like that.
Which is why I don't. Which is why I disagree. I don't think he would ever get to a point where he would kill his family.
I think I'd say
He could. He
maybe
could get
not
to
his
a
daughter.
point.
I think he would kill
He
his
could
wife.
get a point. I don't think he'd kill his wife.
She's trying to keep him away from his daughter. So he would.
I think she thinks he would kill him. I don't think he'd actually go through with it. I think he would hit her. I think he would have a Jack Nicholson shining not even grab the kid, but hit the girl.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I mean, it's supposed. If Duvall doesn't show up, it's gonna happen. But
it's probably just inevitable.
Yeah.
So Prendergast is telling the captain about the suspect. The captain ridicules him and insults him, dismissing him back to his desk. Doesn't like him because he thinks that he's
a
afraid.
coward.
Yeah, he's a coward.
Yeah.
Prendergast and Sandra decide that they're going to go after the guy anyway. Dee calls Beth and is scary as hell talking to him. This time he's completely ominous and threatening. Back at the store, Prendergast and Sandra were going to question Lee, but not the surplus store, at the convenience store. They're going to question Lee, but he realizes where he is, and then the man he's looking for is the same guy who abandoned the car. So he puts it all together at this point.
He goes full circle.
He's right near the overpass. Meanwhile, Dee marches through traffic, now wearing some fatigues. He accuses a construction worker of faking the work to protect a budget. He sees Dee's gun and admits that there's nothing wrong with the road. He says he'll give him something to fix, and then he takes out the rocket launcher. And this is the same with the kid.
Right.
He can't get it to work. A kid on a bike tells him how to work it, thinking he's an actor doing a movie. He accidentally fires into the street trench, blowing up the work site from beneath, which I don't think.
Was it a slide? Did he shoot it into a slide?
Yeah. Right.
That just looped down and sent it. Because it really should have blown up in their faces.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It was a miniature golf moment.
That's what's
right
too silly. That would just too silly for me.
So
that part.
It's a little.
Yeah. That part.
Prendergast and Sandra visit Dee's mom, who's the old aunt from Twister.
Oh yeah, she makes all those fucking awesome steaks.
Lois Smith is the actress.
That's right.
She's the best.
Dee's name is William Foster. It would appear that his father was a Purple Heart winner, or he was. That he's, I think, named after his father. There's a picture of an older military guy, so I think that he was.
I don't ever notice.
I think it was a military family. Next, Dee's at a country club. He's just walking across the grass.
Yeah.
One old guy tries to calm down his angry white asshole friend. He hits a golf ball at him, and Dee pulls a shotgun. Suddenly, the man's suddenly that old man is no longer tough.
Far.
And then he starts pointing out the greed of the old men playing golf, where this could be a park for kids.
Yeah.
The old man has a heart attack. The pills are in the golf cart that just rolled into the water.
Sinking.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
He says he's going to die in his stupid hat because he didn't let him walk through, which I love.
I'm sorry, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, you're good luck. This was all you. I had nothing to do with any of this.
I was temporarily back on Dee's side on this. And that's at this point.
I still have yet not to be on this side. I got to get myself checked into a hospital. I'm pro D.
Oh my.
Back at the house, Dee's mother shows the cop his bedroom. He has notes and a collection of compasses, the engineer kind, not the sportsman kind.
Yeah, he is.
She says he works for a company doing work against the communists, which, as you do. She tells him that sometimes he sits through an entire meal not saying anything. She says she fears him sometimes.
Well, that was my dad. He watched TV.
Well, that's funny because that's what he tells everyone.
Right.
I make things to fight the communism.
Right.
And I'm sure that's what he tells his mom.
Exactly.
Every night when he scarfs down his fucking food like a savage and
she admits
grills her.
Like she admits that at dinner she fears him sometimes.
Every meal has mashed potatoes in it. That's all I can get. There's mashed potatoes in every one of those dinners. Yeah.
It's a hungry man.
Oh yeah.
It's a TV dinner.
So
good.
It's got that little brownie
gravy.
Now we're what's the last
Salisbury
altercation? The golf course is the last, right? Like
No.
No.
Oh no, he comes across the family with the barbed wire.
Sandra comes back. Sandra comes back into it while the mother's telling him about, basically kind of admitting that she kind of fears him sometimes.
When did he come across the family in the pool?
It's right after.
Okay, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
He's cutting across the golf course.
Yeah.
Sandra tells him that she called the company and that he was fired from the company like months ago or weeks ago, whatever.
Imagine if it was for
where's
being
he
too
been
nice.
going all this time?
Yeah.
You're being too nice. Like the cop. You know, like the commissioner or the captain tells Prendergast, you're too Prendergast. How do you say his fucking
Prendergast.
Prendergast, you're too nice. You need to be mean. Imagine if it was the opposite for him. You know?
I feel like it would be more of a
balance, which is interesting because Prendergast, I mean,
White
you
shirt,
hate to
tie.
judge somebody else's trauma, but he's clearly experienced like this really traumatic thing.
Right.
And yet he moves through life with this kind of like, I'm still here. I
Exactly.
gotta keep going. And
Exactly. He has all these assholes that he has to interact with, and he doesn't.
He's smiling.
No,
smiling in traffic.
Whoa, wait a minute, though. It takes him a little longer, but it's starting to happen. To a PG degree, it's happening to him. What's happened to Michael Douglas? It's starting to happen with him. He tells his wife to shut up.
Well, he has to.
He has to, maybe. And then he punches the Fred Paxton.
Yeah, listen.
He wouldn't have done it
I
in
don't
the
care
beginning
what
of the
you think
movie.
about my wife. If you say some shit about her out loud, I'm going to punch you into a gate.
I'm not saying he's not right. But you notice how he's getting more violent and he's getting more aggressive.
Well, he's starting to stand up for himself. That's all.
It's going to happen. If those cops keep pushing him another few years, he's going to walk out of his car one day, too.
No, there's definitely a
I don't get that from him.
parallel.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean.
Yeah,
definitely.
You should, because I'm right.
It's
Same, but different.
it's same and different at the same time.
Well, they both want their daughter.
But next he breaks. He breaks into a rich person's house. He stumbles upon a family having a cookout at the house, but it belongs to the man. The guy's a caretaker of the property. It belongs to his employer.
The guy there does not own the house.
Right. So he says a plastic surgeon lives here, and which is when he says, "Oh, I'm in the wrong field. This is what plastic surgery buys." He has the family hostage. He tells them about losing the job and being not economically viable, like the protester was shouting. He confesses essentially that he was going to...
He fucking swagger jacked the protester.
Now, this is the thing. This
come up with your own
this
catchphrase,
scene,
Michael.
Right?
Yeah.
pretty much confirms he was going to play. He was planning on killing his family, because he talks about that he was going to go home. They were going to have the party. Then it was going to get dark, and they were going to go to sleep. All of them.
You could read it that way.
Yeah,
that's true. All right.
I rewound it and because I wanted to hear the whole what his whole speech was.
Yeah,
it definitely sounded like it was one of those things, a murder suicide. He wants to be with his family forever. She doesn't want him to be there. He's going to make it happen his way, and
interesting.
Which is what happens.
That is
That's the thing. I mean, there's people
like that out there.
Well, he ends up killing himself. Had Robert Duvall not. Okay, all right. I'm gonna give it that. Yeah, Jesus,
semen.
They already know semen.
Semen.
Well, keep going. Stop letting me interrupt you. Go.
So another cop is dismissive to Beth.
You're doing a good job.
There's a female cop that's now on site at Beth's house, and she's worried that he's still coming. She's dismissive. I fucking started it too. That's the problem. He confirms this when he calls from the pier nearby. Prendergast picks up another lead from the Army Navy store. Sandra was there. Beth and Adele sneak out the back of the house and run off to the fucking pier because they're idiots.
Well, that's where they used to like to go.
Right. He sits inside, and so as Dee is inside the house, he sits inside watching old home movies, and the phone rings, and he doesn't answer. The cops refuse to send another squad car to her house. Prendergast...
because she's already called like 8 times today.
Right. So
Venice Beach cops, man, what the fuck? Even when the police tell you to go there, they're like, nah.
It's the holidays.
We went twice already. Yeah. No, I'm the police. I think you should go there.
We don't get paid for mileage, lady. Come on.
Then
is this a Christmas movie?
So before they have their big end, though, there is that moment when he's watching the old home movies and he sees himself being kind of a prick in the
That's
home
after
movie.
this. Yeah.
That's after okay. All
so first, Prendergast's wife calls, and she flips out. He finally puts his foot down and tells her to shut up.
Yeah.
It's like the big turning point for him. The squad surprises him.
This is when he begins his journey.
Yeah.
Right. I'm staying.
So he stands up to his wife, and basically she's kind of steering him to what she wants him to be or what she wants him to do. He finally puts his foot down about that. Right as that happens, the squad surprises him with a stripogram. One insults his wife.
Classic
Paxton.
Fred Paxton.
Fred Paxton insults his wife, and Prendergast has now become fed up with everyone. He knocks him down. He knocks him into the cake. Just fantastic.
Oh yeah, he deserves it. The guy, he's a prick throughout the whole movie.
And he leaves. Yeah. He takes
and
off.
he pushes
bad
he
cop.
pushes Robert Duvall's buttons through the whole movie, and
Right.
you can see it building up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a PG version of what's
and he's
going
rude
on
to
with Michael
he's
Douglas.
rude to Sandra too.
He's rude to everybody.
Yeah.
Fred Paxton.
A lot of the cops are.
So then we switch back and we see Dee is still watching these videos.
Yeah.
But this time he starts to see where in the video his temper and his wife and child are afraid of him. Mm-hmm. So it kind of just this is where he starts seeing like, oh,
that's
geez.
where it clicks in.
Prendergast
Sit
and
on the
Sandra.
hobby horse. Sit on the horse. Get on the horse.
Right. Just sit on it.
Yeah.
Prendergast and no comments? No, just sit on it. No.
No, keep going, man.
all right, okay. I was waiting.
We're
I'm sorry.
letting you to keep going.
It's only when you do it.
Prendergast and Sandra arrive, but Dee escapes, heads to the pier to try and find the girls.
Yep.
Sandra's shot in the back. Oh, sorry, no, in the backyard.
He was shot in the back.
More
yard.
like back door.
He finds the girls. He loses it completely and pulls a gun.
The money shot.
Living a delusion that everything's just normal.
Yeah.
He tells them, we're going to have the party and it's going to be great. He breaks down, reuniting with Adele. Beth begs him to stop and get help. He tells her the city is sick, not him. Which, he's not wrong.
He's not. Well, no, he's not 100. And I'll be anti defense for a minute. He is sick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not sick. He's got some problems. I'm saying he can get some help.
Yeah.
I don't think it's total. I think his daughter is his one saving grace, and under the right circumstances, there could be help for him.
Yeah.
There could have, but once he sees that video and once he's cornered and he realizes he's the bad guy, like you said, then your theory comes into play and he kills himself because, which is noble.
So Prendergast appears and he agrees. He's talking about the city and the water as well. He goes negotiator really, and
I
tells
love this
him,
monologue.
This is an awesome scene. He tells him about his daughter, who died of SIDS, but she wasn't an infant. She was 2 years old.
Yeah.
Which there's a theory online that the wife is behind it was the cause of it.
Based on her behavior.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
I mean, there's two schools of thought. That or it drove her to a fucking point where she just lost her shit.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beth manages to kick the gun away and get rid of it, and Prendergast holds William.
Yeah, William.
Bill.
Defense.
Yeah.
He calls him Bill.
I don't know why I changed it up to Bill.
Fred
all of a sudden.
Paxton.
Who realizes now that he's the bad guy. He realizes it. They have a little
He even
standoff.
said, I'm the bad guy?
Right.
I'm on Burgundy.
Dee tells him that he's got another gun and he's going to pull and shoot unless he shoots him first. He basically says that, there's two options. I can kill you.
Yeah.
Or you can kill me and my daughter can get the insurance money. And he says, don't you want to watch her grow up?
I think they deny that claim, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think she's getting that money.
I know.
But he doesn't want to watch his daughter grow up from behind bars. Mm-hmm. He pulls the gun, but it's a water pistol.
Right.
But
Prendergast
shoots
doesn't know that
him.
at first.
Yep. He gets shot, falling off the pier into the water. In the aftermath,
Suicide by cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. In the aftermath, Captain Dickhead tries to make himself and the department look good with Prendergast, who tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, fuck you very much.
Because he's over there praising him.
Yeah.
Right. He's praising him now,
All of
and
a
in the
sudden,
beginning he's demeaning him.
It was actually one of our staff,
top guys,
that did it. Yeah.
And he tells him at one point,
fuck you very much.
Well, it's a good full circle moment because he tells him, I don't trust anybody who doesn't swear.
Right.
Yeah.
So he swears at him. Yeah. He tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Exactly. He goes and checks on Sandra and Beth. Prendergast decides not to retire, having now put himself back on the street and realizing he still has some mileage left.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the
That's
I mean, he's the most qualified
That's
police
falling
officer
down.
in that department.
Yeah.
Every other cop in that department is a fucking numbskull.
Yeah.
I don't think the Asian guy is probably too bad. I think he's just kind of...
he's a desk guy more so than...
Yeah.
But anytime he's interacting with the two
other guy,
cops, with the girl who they're interrogating, it's like,
Angie.
oh, you're fucking up our case. It's
Right.
like, no, there's a bigger story to this, you morons.
Yeah.
You just coerced this girl into giving
Well, no, because they don't
information
take him
that's not-
seriously. Yeah, he's about to retire. They're just making jokes. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Go sit at your desk. We don't need you anymore.
No.
But I don't know.
They're
It's weird. It's
pushing-
just very clear that he's so good
It
at
is.
his job.
Yeah.
And Sandra's the only one who's like, dude, you're so good at this. Why?
Yeah.
What are we
Why
doing?
are you leaving?
You can't leave.
And
Nobody else gets
and
it.
again, everybody else is pushing him out the same way
Yeah.
they pushed out Michael Douglas. It's the mirror. image
Yeah.
is pretty
No,
cool.
there is a lot of symbolism.
Symbology.
Similarities, and you see it at the end. You see them.
Guy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to pick from, but Brian, any favorite scenes that stand out for you?
Oh shit! I forgot we had categories.
We
Damn.
do have
All right,
categories.
let's spot them
But we
up.
got to keep it
Yeah.
tight because we're
All right.
already over 2 hours.
All right, sorry, Brian.
Sorry.
No. We
No,
were all
no.
doing it. This is a good movie to talk about.
We got heavy. in the early
So
parts.
Yeah.
I like a good chunk of this movie, like we did when we did Michael Douglas in Romancing the Stone.
Romancing the Stone, yeah.
Like in that movie, I liked like Tito. I liked a good chunk of that movie. Like when they're in the forest, in the jungle.
Yep.
In this movie, I like when he starts to go on his rampage. I like from the phone booth onto the surplus guy. I like all of that where he and onto the fast food restaurant.
Yep.
All of that just adds fuel to his fury.
Right.
And he like we were talking about, like he kind of like upgrades himself as he goes along into this deranged
killing machine.
Yeah, that was the most interesting for me, I think. Just watching him spiral like quickly out of control.
Yeah.
It was fast.
Yeah.
You know, and that was fun to watch, and Michael Douglas played it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go. The scene at the surplus store is my favorite. Even like Brian, I agree. Going into like the golf course, into him meeting the family, because I think that's a real powerful scene too.
That's good too.
With that, like the downstairs, and it's really kind of like a what the fuck moment. Like what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
What's happening in this basement? This is where we went. But I think it's really well acted, and it's really powerful stuff. Those parts.
I'm gonna go the phone booth gangster scene when they lose the drive-by.
Oh, yeah.
And he comes and picks up the gun, mainly because of the music that plays after he shoots the guy in the leg and says,
"You missed.
Get some shooting lessons, asshole." And there's this big bum score. It just he's ready. It announces that rampage that Brian talks about, and the fast food scene. It's I think it's embedded in a lot of people who love this movie. This this is the famous scene.
Yeah,
and it's funny. It's not really suspenseful, but it's just a good scene. I can't find the words right now. Those are the two best that stick out.
I really like the confrontation at the end, Prendergast and Foster, the standoff.
That is very good.
The whole, even just how it starts with like Robert Duvall sitting there, like he's been there, he's waiting, and he kind of
He's got his popcorn.
interjects. He puts himself into the conversation, starts agreeing. Like he overhears him talk about the city, and he says, I agree.
It's a great performance.
Awesome scene. And then there's scenes in this film that are just, for me, they're hard to watch. But they should be. Like, they shouldn't make you comfortable. They should make you feel something.
Yeah.
The surplus store scenes being a huge one. It is one of the it is like pretty much the big standout scene in the movie. The dynamic of Dean not coming to the aid of the gay couple, but then flipping out when the Nazi says they're the same, for me, is just, it's powerful. And it really is like a huge turning point. It is the pinnacle of the movie where, everything kind of turns, and he's on a different path after that. He leaves with a different, outfit.
Yeah, even his outside reflects his inside.
Right.
Now. Yeah.
So that's mine. Brian, what's wrong with this movie? Anything?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any fat on this movie. I mean, it is a really good commentary on, like, this whole month we're doing madness, and we're doing looks at people with mental issues and stuff like that, in different degrees. And this just shows what can happen to somebody when they've just had enough.
Yep.
Whatever it is, he's lost his job, he's stuck in traffic, and he's got all this stuff. God knows what's going through his head as he's sitting there not able to move, sweltering in the heat. He's got this fucking fly stuck in his car that's bugging the shit out of him. And, this is all compounding, let alone all the chaos that's going on around him while he's in his head in traffic,
right.
And he's just spiraling out of control. And it is a really good look at what can happen to somebody, in a situation like that where, their life is just in ruins.
Yep. Agree.
Yeah, the only stuff that I feel like just doesn't work for me is like especially towards even at the end, it's like this forced empathy It's like, no, but like look at it from this other. It's like, he's
can't.
already done all these.
Yeah.
There isn't enough like good to outweigh some of the shit he's done. If it had gone another way, I think there's a way to make this movie, and I think it's a good movie. I think it could be even better if some of those big moments aren't as big. Even if he does accidentally shoot up the burger joint, if people aren't necessarily really getting hurt, because in the beginning, it's ambiguous.
Yeah.
He gets attacked. There's a dispute with the guy.
Yeah.
Once he kind of crosses that line, there's like, stop trying to make me feel bad for this guy. I can't anymore. Like, I'd rather it be that ambiguous throughout the entirety of the movie.
Right.
But, I mean, still a good movie.
The mom and how she handles the whole situation, it's hard for me really to hate Michael Douglas in this, because I know the kid and wife are in danger, but the mom doesn't seem that fazed by it. The mom doesn't really seem 100% concerned with getting her kid out of harm's way.
Yeah,
she's sort of she's sort of dense to the whole thing. She's afraid of stuff that could happen, and she tells the cops this. However, she really does very little to protect this girl. Right. She still has this big fucking birthday party.
Yeah.
She runs to the pier. She doesn't run to the state. Even when Robert Duvall intervenes at the end, she just kind of stands there. There's no talking. There's no. She just does not know what to do. And honestly, it's not that she. I think she makes it worse by just standing there. I think she pushes Michael Douglas over the edge further, because she's not willing to really do anything to change her situation. There's this woe is me kind of thing, but she doesn't do anything to better for her and her kid.
Yeah,
at all.
I just put everything and nothing. It's like I said, it's hard to watch at times, but like I said, it should be. I agree with some of the points you guys made. I think that you're right. I think don't try to make me feel okay for him.
Yeah.
At the end, by the end of the movie, because it's like, no, you've already shown us what he is. And I agree with you about the wife a little bit. I think that part is probably more just a Hollywood writing thing. Is that like if they, because it
could be that
a woman in this situation would probably just pack up her kid and like leave. She would drive out of the city and then But that would then what's going to happen at the end of the movie? There's not going to be a standoff. There's not going to be, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like I guess you could have had like
She's
a
just gonna
standoff
be
where
written
he
that
shows
way.
up at the house. There's no one there.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know if she was one of those wives whose husband did every single thing that happened, and then she was like, one day was like, I can't do this. She got a restraining order, but it's still like, yeah, but what do I fucking?
Yeah, but
do?
how
This
far?
guy-
But how close were you to? You still stayed close. You didn't move to another state, or
Yeah. I mean, up
know,
into
like
that
there's-
into that point, he's just an asshole. He's not necessarily a fucking killer.
So other than that stuff,
She is a lame character.
Speaking of characters, Brian, favorite and least favorite characters?
Favorite character is Pendergrast. I love Robert Duvall in this movie, and I wanted to see a little bit more of him. I wish that there was more of a balance. It seems like it's more 65-35, where you've got Michael Douglas's characters, obviously 65% of this movie, and Robert Duvall 35%. I wish it was more 50-50. I just loved his character. I loved just the chaos of it. He's trying to deal with this guy that's going on a rampage while also trying to deal with his fucking wife in his ear every 5 minutes on the phone about when are you coming home? When are you coming home? When are you coming home? And he's my favorite.
Yeah. Least
favorite would be his wife. I think Tuesday Weld. As much as I think, like you guys are right about Barbara Hershey being a poorly written character, and she's wasted in this because Barbara Hershey is a lot better actress than the material she was given in this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Tuesday Weld just reminded me a lot of my ex-wife, and I just couldn't stand her.
All right, rock and roll. Shout out Brian's ex-wife.
There you go.
Shout out.
Tito.
Duvall is my favorite character in this movie. I absolutely love him. He's so fun, and I love when he plays these characters. My least favorite is just besides Samra, the entire police department.
Yeah.
Every time they're on screen doing anything, I'm just like, get the fuck out. You're the worst. You could have caught this guy like 4 hours ago, but you're all fucking idiots. Only one guy can connect the dots, apparently. But yeah, all those characters I just couldn't fucking stand.
It's Michael Douglas. The fact that we have spent so much time dissecting and debating this character makes him the best character in the movie. You guys are right. Robert Duvall's fantastic in it.
Yeah.
But Michael Douglas is everything in this movie. His character is everything in this movie because it's such an interesting character, and there's so many levels or layers, as you said, Derek. It's that we just keep talking about it and debating it. That's, to me, is a superbly well written character.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What about least favorite?
Very good.
Again,
wife,
Barbara Hershey, the wife, not Barbara Hershey, just the mom.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Mine favorite with everybody, Prendergast. I'm a Robert Duvall fan. I liked his arc and he's doing clear cut detective work despite working with a bunch of absolute incompetent assholes. My least favorite. I hate a lot of the characters, but I'm supposed to. The captain's a wicked prick. He always plays a douche. The other cops. D is I know you love him. He's an awful person in my eyes. I guess that one that isn't necessarily a bad person but I can't stand is Prendergast's wife, like you said, Tuesday Well. I thought maybe you were going to find out that she has some type of serious mental health issue.
She might, but they never really dig into it.
Just because of the way that like all 3 calls, every scene she's on the phone, she's acting completely different. It's like a totally different character, basically. So I kind of thought that like we were going to kind of explore that more, but it turned out to be kind of like a red herring.
Yeah,
and they just didn't do anything with it. So I think she was kind of a waste.
Yeah,
and leave the skin on the chicken.
Right.
Exactly. Without the skin. That's sacrilegious.
Best part.
MVP.
Pendergast. I think Robert Duvall. He's the one that kind of pulled it all together. I love his character in this movie, and like I said before, I wish we had seen more of him in it.
Yeah.
I gotta go Douglas for all the reasons that Mark said. Pendergast is my favorite character in this movie because I need somebody to love.
Yeah,
but Michael Douglas is really fucking just so he's owning every scene he's in. It probably isn't as big without him. I don't know who else could have done this back then, but he's doing his thing.
I agree. I don't think there's not a lot of actors back then that I can picture in this role.
No, in the 90s.
Yeah, Michael Douglas for me.
Mel Gibson.
He's too good looking.
Well, knowing what we know now.
Yeah.
Too good looking. Yeah, back then with that long, beautiful hair. No, I'm not cutting this shit.
I'm gonna say Michael Douglas too. There's no movie without him.
No.
Sorry.
I'm going with the writer, Eb Rowe-Smith. I think it's a great story in general. I've mentioned the pacing. I think it's perfect pacing. The story's deep, and it could have gone in a different direction. But the way that he kind of unveiled things a little at a time instead of just, I think, especially back then, a lot of people are so quick to kind of give you the whole story right up front. And I loved that you had that parallel kind of, these two guys that start off one way, end a different way, and the whole idea that little by little they, the things that are happening around them change them. So I think it's a brilliant story. I think. Award for What Are You Doing Here?
I am going with John Deal. As much as I wanted to go with the grandmother from the aunt from Twister, who was the first. I'm like, oh, I know her.
I want one of those
when we got to the pool scene, the family at the pool, and the caretaker, John Deal played the father.
Yep.
And I'm looking at him. I'm like, he looks so familiar to me. And so I had to go through IMDb. And I'm scrolling. I'm like, no. I've got this image in my head of this guy doing something, and then I get all the way down to the bottom. Fifth on the bottom of his acting credits is Stripes. And he was Cruiser. And I'm like, oh my God, he's the one that Bill Murray says, you and that cow? I want to party with you. That was him. That was when Bill Murray was talking to.
I didn't even realize that.
Yes, that was the one I had.
Good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are you doing in this movie?
I gotta go Dee Dee Pfeiffer because as soon as she was on screen, I was like, damn, how do I know you?
Yeah.
It was driving me crazy. Yeah. She's the woman in Seinfeld that when George does the opposite, she orders the same meal. And she overhears him. Wow. And she's like, oh, I just ordered the same thing. And she's the one that gets in the job for the Yankees.
Oh, no shit.
And I remember thinking, oh my God, I love this woman is so cute.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
How do I know this face? I love this face.
I don't know her from that, but I know her from something. I'm going to look it up after. But yeah.
I forget what else she's been in.
She's done a lot of like little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark?
The Sidler. I said it before. Or the guy from Ed Wood. Take your pick. That dude's awesome. Love him.
Nice.
Don't know his name. He's just going to be the Scyther.
Mine was a tie between the kid's name is Tobias Jelinek, the blonde kid from Whammy Burger.
Okay.
And Vondi Curtis Hall, the protester. Because he was Miller from Die Hard 2. He's Captain Prince from Romeo and Juliet, Colonel Rhodes in Broken Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a ton of credits from this time period.
Yeah.
So when he showed up on screen, I was like, oh shit. It's I recognize that guy, and I thought that he'd have a bigger part, but it was such a quick.
I know.
So quick.
It was
There's a lot of that in this movie, which
a lot
is
of
fun.
little cameos
So
by people that kind of stand out. There was a lot of people, and we mentioned the aunt from Twister.
Yeah,
Lois,
played defense moms. Lois Smith.
Yeah. So great cast and a lot of like really cool cameo type things.
For sure.
And that, boys, is Falling Down.
That's Falling Down. Awesome movie. Check it out. We spent a lot of time on this movie, which makes it really good.
Yeah.
I had no idea we were going to spend this much time on it, but it's awesome. Super quick. What's making our geek flag fly? Lightning round, boys. Let's do it.
Okay, so last night I saw Novocaine with my dad and my brother.
Jack Quaid. I love this
Jack
guy.
Quaid.
Amber Midthunder's in it too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one
Amber
from
Midthunder
Prey.
from Prey.
The girl that played the Native American.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah, and the guy that played the kid that played Ned in the Spider-Man movies.
Oh,
played
yeah,
his
he's
best
in it
friend.
too, yeah.
Yeah, Babylon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks fun. That
Yeah,
one looks
it was very fun. Very fun.
He's going to be Hobgoblin.
He's a guy who's got like this disorder where his nerve endings are all fucked up. He can't feel pain.
Right.
He's an assistant bank manager. He can get hurt, and he does a lot. But he doesn't feel any of it. But he's an assistant bank manager. The bank gets robbed. He ends up falling in love with Amber. Is it Amber?
Yeah,
Amber Midthunder. Just before this all happens,
so cute.
She really is. And she gets kidnapped as a hostage after the bank robbery. So he takes it upon himself to go and rescue her, and he basically becomes a superhero-ish, vigilante of sorts.
Yeah, that looks like
and
fun.
it was a lot of fun. Cool twists in it too. You guys will like it when you finally see it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been watching Daredevil. It's only 3 episodes in. When I really like it. But
fourth episode's out. We watched it last night.
Yeah. It came out yesterday. But it made me realize that I actually never watched Punisher. So I started watching Punisher from the beginning, and the show is fucking awesome.
It is. Yeah.
I love John
fantastic.
Bernthal.
I do too.
And I was like, why haven't I seen this? I fucking love John Bernthal.
Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
And speaking of John Bernthal, before
The Accountant 2?
The Accountant 2, they showed the preview for Accountant 2.
was
We
he
played
in
the
it?
movie
Ben
last
Affleck's
night.
brother in-
Yes. Did you see The
Oh,
Accountant?
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, you
with
showed
Ben
me that
Affleck.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Oh, that's cool. I love the
They
actor.
finally did The
Yeah.
Accountant 2, but go ahead, Tito.
No, it's cool. I've
Didn't
been
mean to
hooked on
interrupt.
it. I've just been watching that because I don't know. I never did.
Yeah.
And I love those
It's a
Netflix
great series,
I
yeah.
thought they were really good. So that's where I'm at.
They were all good except for the Iron Fist one, really. Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
The second season had some promise.
Of
I
what?
think when it ended, the second season of Iron Fist.
Oh, of Iron Fist.
There was like something that was potentially going to happen. I was like,
okay.
oh, that could be cool.
Yeah.
I forgot that there were 2 seasons. I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah,
only
everything
one, and
got
then they did
2.
the
There were
Defenders.
2 seasons of most of them.
Everything got 2
like
seasons.
Luke Cage had 2 seasons.
Jessica
The first
Jones.
season was
got
best.
3.
At 3, yeah.
Yeah,
Daredevil got
Jessica
3.
Jones. The first season was the best.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
in my mind I thought Iron Fist had 1, and then they did the Defenders, the crossover.
No, there was a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Check them all out.
Nice. Mark?
I don't really have anything other than the trailer for Final I saw the trailer for Final Destination.
I did too.
6.
Yeah, that looked good too.
I'm rewatching I'm doing a Final Destination movie a night.
Nice.
I started on Sunday. I'm revisiting them all. They're all goofy. They're all fun. Tito said it best. They're the Fast and Furious franchise for horror
Did you go
fans.
prequel first?
Yeah, I'm not this time.
And then 1?
No, I always go 1 first because
All right.
I like having that prequel moment in the last movie. So that's big. Other than that, Bosch season 7 is fucking amazing. It's the last season of that, and then I'm going to move on to Bosch Legacy. I'm going to wait for all the episodes to drop for Daredevil before I do a binge on that because I love that shit and I want more.
The guys on Nerdery and Murdery were talking about Bosch. I think one of them is recently going through the series too, and they love it as well.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just saw the trailer for Ballerina. The John Wick universe movie. Ana de Armas.
Yep.
Fucking
that looks really good
gorgeous, and it looks really cool. And speaking of all this Nazi talk, I finished playing Sniper Elite Resistance. Really fun game.
Congrats.
The levels were great.
You beat the Nazis.
Love to kill Nazis. So
who doesn't? And you and the robot, GI Robot.
Yeah,
that's right. Are you a Nazi?
That sounds like something a Nazi would say.
Something that a Nazi would say.
So that's
nice.
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, this was an awesome episode, guys. There was a lot. We don't often have these episodes that run over time, but we do have a couple of them, and that's because we have so much to say and so much fun.
We're passionate.
We are. And if you want to go back and check out some of these episodes where we're super passionate about something like tonight's movie, Brian, where can they go?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons, where if you're not a subscriber, we encourage you to hit one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and that way you will never miss an upcoming episode. Also, while you're there, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. A review and a rating go a long way to help push our little show a bit further forward from the rest of the podcast pack, and most importantly, it makes it easier for everybody else to find us while they're searching. Also, we have social media presences, Derek. We are on Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and the audio portion of our show can be found weekly on YouTube as well. And all of that can also be linked to the website. And we also have a Ko-fi page, and that can be linked to the website as well. You can find that there. If you like the show, and we really hope you do, you might want to consider leaving a donation of any size, large or small, would be greatly appreciated to help keep this little show running. And as we always say, podcasting is not cheap, so please and thank you for that. I think that's pretty much it, gentlemen. If you're a first-time listener, welcome. If you're a long-time listener, welcome back. And thank you, everybody out there, for listening. And back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you, everybody out there, for listening. Tune in next week as we give you one more for In the March of Madness. It's a special one that we're bringing back a drink till it's good.
Woohoo!
New format, new idea, but a lot of fun and a crazy movie to end this month with.
Yeah, we hope you like it.
We hope so, too. If not, tough shit. It's been 6 years. What do you want? Until then, for 3 Geeky Dads, I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying goodnight and keep watching the skies, because Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
Dan.
It's yellow.
Communism was a red herring.
Communism was in the sky.
It was a red herring. It was the red herring.
I was listening.
I was listening.
All right.
I too had the cognac.
I was right.
Brian spent a hard $3 on this movie, so let's go.
I'm gonna get your wife pregnant. That's my Tracy Morgan.
You're making me throw up.
I saw him live once. It was fucking awesome.
Was he really?
Remember in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and he's the drug dealer, and he's and he's kind of
barely.
the Jay, and then there's another guy next to him who isn't really saying much, and he's kind of like the Silent Bob for him. And he's a weird looking white dude, and he's got a weird name, and I can't remember what it was. I want to say it was like.
Yeah, cut that out of the show, Brian.
I don't know.
Fuck you.
I thought you were talking about James Vanderbeek and Jason.
No.
That's
that
when
was
they
the
meet
the movie.
No, they meet the stunt doubles. No, I remember Tracy Morgan was the.
They get the weed cards.
Yeah.
I don't remember Tracy Morgan in that movie.
Well, he's forgettable. That's my point.
Oh, wow.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's right.
He's so funny.
He's not that.
He's gonna get you pregnant later. You better watch out.
Probably will.
Keep it up. He'll get you pregnant.
You can throw up in my mouth.
I'm gonna knock you the fuck up.
I'm getting Mark pregnant.
It'll be nice to be loved. Well, what's my?
Well, I was saying, like, his smaller movies, Derek, are better.
Yeah.
His smaller movies are a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, if you rein him in as a director, he's good.
That happens.
Yeah.
You don't like Jerry Bruckheimer?
No. I mean, I
Too bombastic?
You know what it is?
I
You know what
bet
it
like
is?
30% of your favorite movies were produced by
No.
Jerry Bruckheimer.
No, it's a smaller percentage. No, because there was like a span where there were movies like all awesome action movies, The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, Broken Arrow. I liked those.
Keep going, man.
I liked that.
Those are all
right. Those are all Bruckheimers with the little tree and the lightning strike and fucking
Insider.
But
who was
the
his
Insider?
partner
That's the one I was
died?
thinking. Yes. Huh?
Remember, he had a partner that died. It was Bruckheimer.
Yeah,
was
Don
it Fuller?
Simpson. Don Simpson.
Bruckheimer Simpson.
Simpson, eh?
I
fucking love
my pro. I think my problem with Bruckheimer is and Michael Bay is because of Transformers.
But
I think that's
more
when
than meets the
I
eye.
turned. No, I know, but like you know what? The first movie I didn't mind. The second one, Megan Fox was super hot in it, so okay.
Hot.
But after that, it just got dumber and dumber and dumber, and it was like. It was like watching like a series like The Leprechaun. All this, you know, like you expect to see Transformers in the hood, fucking, or in which I think they did.
They tried a few of them.
They tried to shoehorn King Arthur into the Transformers movies too.
The last night, so it's just I don't know.
Transformers in the hood, I would say.
It got to a point where I just like stopped making movies, dude.
Is that all you got?
I'm done.
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
good?
Yeah.
You're sweating.
I've had a
Okay.
well,
do you have any room left for the main course?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let me go. Let me go pinch one off, and I'll make room for it.
Wait a minute. Is this
Don't
porn?
edit
Is this
that
another
out.
porn
Edit that
thing?
out.
I will.
Are you ready? Porn thing?
Ready?
You don't know what pinch one out?
I know what I think it is,
Loaf, you know,
but I don't know what you know.
I
it
know.
is
I know what it is.
based on your pornography problem.
Are we gonna do the main course? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, but we're filming we're recording a
Hold
show.
on, let me
I should
take a
say.
big deep breath.
Okay, ready?
Are you guys drunk? What the fuck is going on?
Not yet.
But I don't know why old white guys really love, the 80s so much.
Yeah,
I love the 80s.
I love the 80s. I love the 80s like pop culture.
Yeah.
Not like the political climate or the, the
but
environment.
even back in the 80s, they were like, hey, there's a hole in the ozone layer. We should do something about it. And everybody
They
was
didn't
like,
do anything.
I think
what did
you're
they do, Tito?
It got better.
It did. It healed itself.
The ozone layer got
supposedly.
better.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Aquanut, went out of style.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to go
Once women stopped
Aquanut.
spraying.
I thought that was going to be a porn
Aquaman?
thing. Aquanut.
No, Aquanet. Aquanet.
you call it?
Aquanet.
thing.
I thought you said Aquanut.
You said Aquanut, you
Aquanet.
pervert.
I
No,
did
you
not.
did not. I mean, it's documented.
Play it back. Play it back.
Yeah.
Play the tape. Let me go.
Big boy did it. Yeah, slow it down, Brian. That's what we need. Slow it down.
Aquanet.
Slow it down. I'm going
Oh, I'm glad I didn't have a sip.
Oh shit. Okay.
It doesn't matter. The rest of the night is now going to be porn related, intentional or unintentional.
Mean to.
That's okay. I don't
No, we're gonna turn it around.
Yeah, we're gonna
turning
have
it
fun.
around.
We're gonna have fun. No, we're gonna keep it dirty.
That's what I. Okay.
Nah,
No,
see,
we're
Aquanut. That's what we're gonna do. So,
No work papers, no credence tapes, nothing.
Credence tapes.
My work papers, tapes, and
it's like
credence
Kramer's
tapes.
suitcase, just crackers. Just all crackers.
Is that one lost? Yeah, it's
Interesting
from
trivia.
Lebowski.
They used the same briefcases. Welcome back, Norman. The one.
Welcome back, Norm.
Riffraff.
Welcome back, Michael.
Shout out to Mormons.